Tonight's broadcast is made possible by Strack & Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Ironworkers Local 395, proud to be union. Four Seasons Mechanical, quality and comfort is our guarantee. Boilermakers Local 374, earn while you learn. IBEW Local 697, proud to support high school sports. Bricklayers Local 4, the best hands in the business. Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. The Right Group, the right way to buy and sell real estate. Mark Macknick, Chicagoland Tax Professionals. Blythe's Team Sports, where the athlete shops. And Hampton Inn, downtown Indianapolis. This is the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Game Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network. We come to you tonight from Gainbridge Fieldhouse in downtown Indianapolis as the Region Sports Network presents live audio coverage of the 2026 Indiana High School Class 4A Boys Basketball State Championship as the Crown Point Bulldogs take on the Mount Vernon Marauders. I'm Kevin Malaire, now the play-by-play for tonight's action. Joining me with the color analysis is Michael Bradner. Good evening, Michael. These two teams won a combined 54 games in the regular season, and one of them is going to be walking out of this field house tonight with their first ever state crown.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting, Kevin. Great to be alongside you. Welcome to Indianapolis. Welcome to your first state championship. Happy to have you along with us here on the Region Sports Network. This is going to be a dandy of a game for the 116th time. We're crowning state champions, the longest tournament in basketball history. If you look at the state championships around all 50 states, this is the longest consecutive running state championship. So excited to be a part of this one. But yeah, a lot of talent, a lot of wins on the board for both these two teams here today. For Crown Point, though, only one loss on the season, and that was to Gary 21st Century. But you know what? One of those important wins is, Kevin? Crown Point already has a win against this Mount Vernon Marauders team.
Yeah, it was one of the things that everyone had talked about coming into this matchup tonight. It's a rare rematch in a state title game. You don't usually see that a lot between two out-of-conference foes, but it's what we have tonight. Crown Point winning the first matchup between these two sides back on December 23rd. 4-point game, mind you, 60-56 to the final score in that game. That was also a neutral site game as well. So two neutral site games sets up this one tonight. But if you look at, let's start with Crown Point. This team's been dominant all season long, 27-1, and they've won 13 straight coming into this one.
Yeah, one of the biggest things and one of the keys for a victory for Crown Point tonight is going to be using that depth. They have so much talent still even on their bench. It's not even just in that starting five, and that's got a really good starting five, but they have depth on the bench, and that's going to come in handy, I think, a lot in this game, especially when you got a guy like MJ Wilson that's playing the way he has here really in the second half of the year. Kind of going with the, ever since conference play really got started, he's been having a really, really good year. But yeah, the Crown Point Bulldogs have got just a plethora of talent, and that's what's going to really help them. Kind of putting all their eggs in the basket here for this particular year. They've been so close the last couple years. It was that Fishers team that kept getting in their way. Well, Fishers got eliminated, so now here they are. They're ready to go here in Indianapolis. Those guys, from what we saw earlier, the guys were sitting on the benches we saw earlier, they look pretty calm and collected.
You made a comment to me that I thought was great off air a little bit ago. There was no one happier in the state of Indiana when Fishers lost than head coach for Crown Point, Clint Swan. We'll have more on the head coaches in a little bit here in our pregame show. Mount Vernon, on the other hand, like we said, 3 losses on the year. One of those to that was Crown Point team. They've won 10 straight as well, and really everything for them goes through Luke Erdl.
Yeah, he's going to be probably the odds-on favorite to potentially win that Indiana Mr. Basketball as our Crown Point Bulldogs are hitting the floor right now. But yeah, one of those wins for Marauders obviously is, or one of those losses that we talked about, obviously Crown Point, Fishers as well. So they were happy to see Fishers lose as well. I know we're going to take a quick break here, though.
Yep, you're exactly right. The teams take the floor for their first portion of warm-ups. Tonight's coverage of the Class 4A State Championship basketball game is brought to you by the Region Lawyers, the gold standard for legal representation. Call today at 219-885-3957 or visit them on the web at theregionlawyers.com to schedule your free consultation. Back in a moment from Indy, you're listening to coverage of the 2026 Indiana High School Class Boys Basketball 4A State Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Have you heard? Stratton-Manteau was voted Best of the Region 2025 in several categories, including Best Caterer, Deli, Flower Shop, Food and Grocery Delivery, Fried Chicken, Place to Buy Produce, Place to Buy Seafood, Loyalty Program, and Grocery Store. We're proud to be recognized by our community, and we're committed to continuing to deliver the variety, value, and convenience you deserve. See for yourself what it means to be the best when you shop at Stratton-Manteau.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Headquartered in Griffith, Indiana, Absolute Power Systems has been delivering top-notch service since 2004, with a team of skilled technicians boasting extensive training on some of the biggest names in the business, like Cummins, Caterpillar, John Deere, Volvo, and more. They focus on providing exceptional industrial engine service and generator power system maintenance and repair. Check them out on the web at absolutepowersystems.com. Absolute Power Systems, powering your business absolutely.
Get Pulse Technology on your team and score a touchdown with our managed print and copier services. Cover your bases with our IT and technology solutions, or hit a home run with our wide selection of office supplies. Scoreboards or AV solutions from Pulse Technology. That's a slam dunk. Or go for the grand slam with our office furniture and design services. Get in touch with us today. Pulse Technology, powering Indiana business since 1919.
This is the Popcorn World pregame show presented by Popcorn World. Popcorn World, the world's largest gourmet popcorn shop. Visit them on the web at doingtheworldofFlavor.com. Well, we mentioned at the top of our pregame show, Clint Swan in his 20th season at Crown Point has never won a state championship game in his illustrious coaching career. Earlier in this week, our Mike Dewan caught up with Coach Swan at Crown Point's Media Day.
Back here at Crown Point High School, Mike Dewan with the Region Sports Network, now joined by the head basketball coach of these Crown Point Bulldogs. Hi, Coach.
Hey, how we doing?
We're good. We're good. It's a fun week. I know, Monday was filled with the media travels you and I talked about. Now we're here Tuesday on kind of a media day, little open practice you guys have going on. But, Coach, going to the first state finals appearance for boys basketball in program history, how does that sound?
Like a relief.
Yeah.
That was what these guys wanted more than anything. I tried to keep them from talking about it and just, staying locked in on where we were. Yeah. But for these guys to reach this goal, it was a great feeling. I said, to a couple of other people that after we won the sectional and the regional, the celebrations were a little muted, because I had to tell them, look, winning a regional is a big deal. You guys need to be happy about that. But they had their eyes on the bigger prize, and to see their elation after we won on Saturday, and the reality that we were getting to do this weekend, you could just see the smiles on their faces. It was great. So to see them getting to experience this is pretty special.
Get over the hump, as they kind of say. Does that that kind of overall feeling among the group, does that kind of tie into your guys' current slogan, right? It's 0-0 or 0-0. Please talk to me a little bit more about that, and if that kind of, that feeling of, hey, let's get to that next game and, let's play and let's have some fun.
It was a little bit, I don't want to say, troubling or disturbing or anything, but there were just a lot of the players were talking about wanting to play for a state championship. And we had other things that we needed to take care of first. I was like, hey, before we talk about that, can we just close out with a hand up? You know what I mean? I'm wanting to, let's take care of this first, and then we'll worry about those things later. So the idea of getting to 0-0, if you say you have a big lead at halftime, what does the coach say to the players? Hey, the score is 0-0. You're trying to get to neutral, trying to get to where if something bad happens, you're on to the next play. If something good happens, you're on to the next play. The goals that we had at the end of the year, let's just stay right here and look at our short-term goals. And, you would see us a lot of times. The other team would go on, or we would go on a big run. The other team calls timeout, and the players are coming off the floor yelling, hey, it's 0-0, it's 0-0. So it's just something that we've taken and we've run with, and it has served us well.
The senior group is one like any other. I think kind of us on the media side, it's like, okay, we got this guy coming back, this guy coming back. They've already been to 2 semi-states, and the sky's high for this Crown Point team. And now you got to go on and, be those leaders. It's easy to lean on guys when you're not the seniors. How has that group kind of evolved over time and ultimately, again, got this group kind of over that hump?
Well, first of all, the biggest thing with them is they're so selfless. Any one of these guys, any one of these seniors could have transferred elsewhere and averaged, 15, 20, 25 points a game. They seriously could have, but they have chosen to stay. So that's the first thing, is if you're going to be selfless, you have a chance. The second thing is the early success was massive for us because we were able to play in so many big games. The moment has not been too big for them. They've been able to play in bigger games than what some of our opponents have played, and I think that has enabled us to be able to close out teams that maybe haven't played under lights quite that bright before.
Sure.
And so for our seniors to be in that many big games, to have that many experiences, and to be that selfless, it has been great for us.
And that's a culture that's been set in throughout the course of your time here, Coach. And what could you say about those building blocks of yesteryear? You look at the wall and you look at all of the Indiana jerseys up there, and players that were big building blocks of this program that are now, kind of from their side of the coin, they're experiencing Crown Point history now. And you've experienced, some of the top players here during your time at Crown Point, but kind of those teams and those building blocks, not only maybe on the basketball court and your experience, but also, an athletic department, fantastic. It's, a big community at Crown Point now is kind of rallying around, including basketball alumni.
We always say when you play 4 years and you graduate from the program, you have bought stock in it. And I've heard from so many former players this week, just a bunch of well wishes, and I've told so many of them, you're a part of this. You own part of this. And, you look at last year's seniors, Colby Hinderlong and Quinn Bagley, the seniors from the year before that, Seamus Molaski and Jaden Schofield and Elliott Swan and Jack Svedich. Right. You look at those guys and what they accomplished for these current seniors, not just in terms of wins and championships, but just, hey, look, this is how it's done. This is how we carry ourselves. This is how we lead. And these current seniors have taken that to task, and now they own it. And after Saturday, they will have a lot of stock in this program, and now they will own part of the future success that we have.
Now, Coach, getting to Saturday, playing a team we've seen before. You guys beat over the holiday season. What needs to be done here from this group of guys we talked all day long with? What needs to happen to hoist Crown Point's first ever state trophy in boys basketball?
Well, I think the first thing is we just have to be us. There's tons of planning. There's tons of scouting and player personnel and tendencies and all of that we'll have them ready for. But the biggest thing is it doesn't become paralysis from analysis, that we're able to go out and just simply be ourselves, particularly at the defensive end, and not freeze up because we're trying to overthink things. That's the biggest thing that needs to happen. Everybody brings up 3 months ago. Well, that was 3 months ago. They're a much different team now than what they were then, and we're a much different team now than what we were then. So I think that it's nice to have that frame of reference, but I think that both teams are going to be ready, and I think the fans who are going to be there are in store for a great game.
We're excited. The best of the best under lights at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The Crown Point Bulldogs are going to state. Still, again, a first time, Coach. Incredible to say. We cannot. We're ready to get down there with you guys and hopefully experience a good game, and more so the good guys holding up the trophy. We'll be back here from Crown Point High School. Thank you to Coach Clint Swan and Mike Dewan with the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Our thanks again to Mike Dewan for that great conversation, and we'd like to remind everyone that tonight's live stream is powered by Absolute Power Systems in Griffith, providing exceptional service for industrial engines, pumps, and generator power systems. For more info, visit AbsolutePowerSystems.com. Absolute Power Systems, powering your business absolutely. So Clint Swan, 20 years now at the head man at Crown Point. Second state championship game appearance overall. He did it at Andrean, where, as many people know throughout the region, he's a legend at that school too. He hasn't been able to get over the hump, though, of getting that elusive state title. Tonight he has that opportunity.
Well, if there is anyone that can say, it's hard to get to these types of games, he is living proof of it. But I am more than excited for Coach Swan and his team. Coach Swan has been elite class when he talks to us, when he talks to people, anywhere he goes. He is the most genuine-hearted person you will ever meet. He's so forthcoming with information and everything that he needs to get out there. He's great to his players. His players love him. His family is actually sitting right behind us. And I had that kind of experience watching a coach's family behind me when covering Lake Central a couple years ago on the girls' side. It can be a ball of emotion, let me tell you. But I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy for this team. This team has overcome a lot of that adversity that a lot of teams have to go through. A team that he maybe looked at as like, man, this is a state championship quality team, but there's just a team that might just have a little bit of a hotter night that can eliminate you in the postseason tournament. That happens. And he is just living proof that no matter how hard you work, sometimes you don't always find the success that you probably think you deserve, and he'll be the first one to tell you, I don't deserve anything. I have to earn it, and he has certainly, over his years of experience, has earned that. That's one reason why he's in the Andrean Hall of Fame. And if Crown Point has a Hall of Fame, I'm sure he'll be finding his way in there pretty soon. If there's a Region Hall of Fame, we got him in that as well.
There's a number I want to bring up with you, though, with this Crown Point team in general. It's an unconventional one I'm going to throw at you here, but something that Wally McCormick and I discussed a few weeks ago during their regional win over Chesterton. The one in the loss column. The importance of coming into this game with one loss compared to unbeaten. We talked about how much of a bigger impact is because there's less pressure on keeping the perfect season. Because you're already coming into this game with so much pressure of everyone's dreams are on display here tonight in a game like the state title game. Not only that, you have that combination with trying to keep a perfect season. Wally McCormick's argument was it's actually better that they have the one loss coming into this game because it's less pressure.
Yeah, I don't agree. I don't disagree with Wally whatsoever because, and I was actually on the call of that game against 21st Century. They looked a little tired. They had just played LaPorte the night before. Were having to get home pretty late because of a snowstorm that was coming through that night as well. So, and they had a really tough fight against LaPorte the night before. But to the point, yes, it's good to have that loss because the pressure of having an unbeaten season, let alone as our executive producer playing some pranks over there behind us. But also, I think whenever you have a schedule and you're looking for like a turning point moment in a season, that can be your turning point moment. Okay, we're not perfect. We're not maybe as good as we think we are. That can humble your team a little bit, and from that point on, you can use that to propel you the rest of the season, because now Coach Swan can say, hey, look, you guys didn't execute everything perfectly. You have a loss. Now let's go win this state championship, because if you're just perfect and you're running through like, hey, Coach, why do we have to keep doing this in practice? We haven't lost yet. Everything we're doing is fine. No, there are still things to improve, and I'm sure those guys aren't saying that in practice because they know better, because I'm sure they're going to have to run if they do that. But yeah, no, that one loss could be really, really big. And even here in the state of Indiana, you could go 0-whatever and technically still make your way here. So having the losses in the column, having the wins in the column, it's really just how you're playing that late in the season to get to this point here.
Totally right. It's a great argument. It's a great conversation. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll briefly preview their opponent tonight, Mount Vernon. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Indiana High School Class 4A Boys Basketball State Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
When life takes an unexpected turn, you need someone in your corner. The Region lawyers stand up for you when it matters most. Facing criminal charges, injured in an accident, our experienced legal team is ready to fight for your rights and protect your future. We believe every client deserves personal attention, honest guidance, and relentless representation. In the Region, we take care of our own, and we are proud to stand up for the people of our community. Call the Region lawyers today at 219-750-9380 for a free consultation. The Region lawyers, the gold standard for legal representation.
IBEW Local 697 isn't just wiring buildings. We're woven into the very fabric of Northwest Indiana. We're your neighbors. Our kids go to school with yours. We stand in the same bleachers cheering for the same high school teams. When you hire a union electrician, you're not just getting the highest quality work. You're supporting our community. IBEW Local 697, proudly powering our own.
Calling all current and future homeowners in the Northwest Indiana area. Whether you're buying or selling, Brent Wright is here to make your real estate journey smooth and successful. With years of experience, personalized service, and a deep knowledge of the market, Brent will help you find the perfect place or get the best deal for your property. Call today at 219-406-7195 and take the first step toward your real estate goals. Contact Brent Wright, the right way to buy and sell real estate.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
When it comes to your money, you deserve more than just numbers on a page. You deserve someone who sees the full picture. Meet Mark Machnick, one of Northwest Indiana's most trusted accounting professionals. Whether you're running a business, planning for retirement, or just trying to make sense of tax season, Mark Machnick, located in Highland, makes it simple, personal, and believe it or not, painless. Contact Mark and his team today at 219-595-5290. Mark Machnick, CPA.
Sometimes the hardest part of improving your business isn't coming up with a great idea. It's knowing what to do with it. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services is ready to meet all your industrial and commercial construction needs. Whether it's a small build-out or a complete construction project, Chester will design, build, and finance. Our team eliminates multiple contractors, providing you a single point of contact while staying within your budget. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services, turning your ideas into realities.
Welcome back. Tonight's coverage of the Class 4A State Championship basketball game is brought to you by the Region Lawyers, the gold standard for legal representation. Call today at 219-885-3957 or visit them on the web at theregionlawyers.com to schedule your free consultation. Gavin and Michael back with you here courtside at Cambridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. Tip-off just a couple of moments away between Crown Point and Mount Vernon. We'll touch on the Marauders very shortly. 27-3, they went 7-0 in the Hoosier Heritage Conference. Very similar story with their head man, though, too. Joe Bradburn, even though he's only in his third season at Mount Vernon, 27 years as a head coach overall across his career. He has never won a state title game either.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where it's like for both coaches, you want to see them have success. But we're the Region Sports Network, so we're definitely going with the Region coach for sure. But yeah, I mean, you talk about, I don't know if you know what a marauder is. It is a person or entity that roams to plunder or raid or destroy. I don't know if you roam and try to plunder Bulldogs, but the Bulldogs, I think, are going to come back, and they're going to get back in this one here today. I'm just reading the definition on the old machine here. So our sports director has already made one mistake today. We won't mention it on the air, calling a game going too quickly. You don't make those kind of comments.
Rookie mistake.
Mike DeWine's also doing the production today, doing a phenomenal job.
Yes, he is.
He's got this camera view. I tell you what, those of you that can see the camera, he has finagled this thing to make us look good, which is not easy to do. So, but yes, this Marauders team is going to be a good team. When you look at the Sagarin ratings and a lot of those rankings, they are like right there neck and neck with Crown Point. So this is not going to be an easy task. And I tell you what, yes, Crown Point beat them earlier in the year, but I'm sorry, you throw that out the window to an extent because that was in a tournament where you had no prep to get ready for these teams. When you get this much time to prep, this is going to be a different ball game. We're gonna see a good one here today, no question about it.
Yeah, you know the team like it's the back of your own hand. That's how well you get to know these teams over the course of your week of preparation. Time now to hand it on over to the public address announcer for the pregame festivities, the performance of Back Home Again in Indiana, and our national anthem.
Presenting now our nation's colors are members of the Indiana State Police. Tonight's national anthem will be performed by Vernon of Zionsville High School.
be back in a moment with starting lineups and tip-off. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Indiana High School Class Boys Basketball 4A State Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
At Blyce, we're used to having the athlete shop at our store.
Down, sit, put.
But sometimes they get carried away. Blyce, this is where the athlete shops.
On-Site Generator Solutions is a locally owned and operated power partner for Northwest Indiana homes. With over 14 years of experience, they handle tasks such as generators, residential electric, plumbing, automotive care, and more. You can find them on Facebook. Give them a call at 219-516-6800 or search them up on the web at onsitegeneratorsolutions.com. On-Site Generator Solutions. Power you could count on every time, everywhere.
Welcome back. You've been listening to the Popcorn World pregame show presented by Popcorn World, doing the world of flavor with over 250 flavors. All but set to go. The starting lineup is about to be introduced inside a packed house here at Gamebridge Fieldhouse on a Saturday night in the Circle City. Time now for the game night forecast, brought to you by our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. Tonight's forecast outside, 44 degrees and clear with higher temperatures expected tomorrow, but we're nice and cozy indoors here getting set for this one. That's been the game night forecast, brought to you by Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter.
Yeah, this place is loud, it is packed, it is raucous. They are ready to go as we get ready to start this matchup. Starters are going to be introduced here in just a moment. They're going to go through reserves first for both teams. So Coach Swan is going to get together with his starting five as he usually does pregame. I'm sure, though, the jitters are going to come out in that first couple moments. We were talking before, Kevin, which, by the way, you don't seem too excited. Let's go. Get yourself hyped. Let's go.
Ready.
Let's go. Let's go.
We got a top 5 matchup for a state crown, and neither of these teams have won a state crown before. How can you not be excited? How can you not love basketball?
See, you said the words perfectly. They haven't won a state crown. Well, Crown Point's got to have a crown, right? So here we go. But yeah, they're going to introduce the starting lineups here for Mount Vernon. No one with Washington in their name, by the way, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I'll go the social studies reference.
You're here all night. Here are the starters for the Mount Vernon Marauders, 27-3 overall, 7-0 in the Hoosier Heritage Conference, led by headman Joe Bradburn in his third season. The man to watch for, 6'3 senior guard Luke Ertl. He'll be accompanied by 4 forwards in the starting lineup. 6'4 senior forward Jack Guerra, 6'1 senior forward Brady Weber, 6'3 senior forward Jamari Collins, and then 6'8 junior forward / center Max Weiss. Outside of Luke Ertl, because we touched upon him already, who of those remaining 4 Marauders do you have your eyes on tonight?
I mean, I got to look at Max Weiss, right? I mean, he's the one scoring next highest in the double figures category. So if you're Crown Point, you're looking at kind of stopping number 12 and number 30. We're going to say numbers, even though you can't see the numbers, but you're going to try to stop Ertl and Weiss, your top 2 players for the team. So I said this in regionals, and I said this in semis today. Who's the next player that's going to step up? Well, we're going to find out. It might be Jamari Collins. We're going to find out.
On the other side, Crown Point being introduced. The Bulldogs in their first state championship game appearance as well. 27-1 overall, 7-0 in the Newland Conference, led by Clint Swan in his 20th season. In the backcourt tonight, 5'9 senior guard Kingston Rhodes, accompanied by the 6'2 senior Mason Darrell and 6'3 senior Bryce Peters. The front court features the 6'7 senior Dikembe Shaw and 6'7 junior Cooper Mulaski. Who do you got your eyes on there? I think I know the opinion here, but I want to hear if you agree with me or not.
Well, obviously, any one of these starting 5 could be one of the guys that make their moment, if you will. But I'm going to be keeping my eyes on MJ Wilson off the bench. He's been so impressive in the games that I've been able to watch so far this season. But obviously, Dikembe Shaw is a guy, when he's ready to turn on his excellence, he can turn it on at any moment. And we're just going to see how these guys are going to gel in this one today. As I'll give you the the officials for this ball game today. We got Jeff Nix, Deion Smith, and Sean Harmon all taking a picture at center court right now. And the Bulldogs are kind of looking at them like, hey, we need to stand there. We gotta get this tip going. Let's go, boys.
They're excited. We thank you so much for listening to the Popcorn World pregame show presented by Popcorn World. Popcorn World, the world's largest gourmet popcorn shop. Visit them on the web at doingtheworldofflavor.com. Jeff Nix holds the basketball. Mount Vernon in the black uniforms with gold numbers and interlocking Mount Vernon logo on the front chest with white trim. Crown Point in the white uniforms with red numbers, red letters that say Bulldogs across the front, red trim on the shorts.
Sorry to cut you off. I tell you what, you think about the history of this tournament, 116 years of crowning state champions. We got one more tonight. Let's go.
Here we go. Ball is in the air and away we go. With Mount Vernon winning the opening tip-off, Max Weiss beat Dikembe Shaw. They move right to left across your radio dial in the first half. Right out the gates, Luke Ertl controls it, drives to the left elbow, and comes up short to the rebound of Dikembe Shaw of Crown Point. Bulldogs moving left to right in the first half. Mulaski at the top of the key, angles left, hands it off, but before he does, he travels.
So Cooper Mulaski just kind of getting a little too jittery there. That's what we're going to see out of these two teams. Ertl's probably not going to leave too many short like he just did a moment ago, and I'm sure Mulaski's not going to do any more traveling over the course of this game. So getting these jitters out these first couple minutes.
It's a rare turnover for Crown Point. They only had 11.4 a night coming into this state title game. Out of the backcourt comes Max Weiss, left wing, angles back to his right, working around Mulaski, drives it right side of the lane, stops his dribble just inside the free throw line, and he finds an open Brady Weber just off the left block. 30 seconds have gone by, first quarter, still scoreless. Ertl now left wing, Peters all over him as he angles it to the right for Jack Gare. Gare now back to Weber, top of the arc. 7:15 to go, hands it off just inside the three-point line. That shot no good. Out of the hands of Luke Ertl. Cooper Mulaski, the weak side rebound for Crown Point. Who pushes? Mason Darrell hands it off. Bryce Peters off the right block, no good. Second try is short. That was Kingston Rhodes who tried to tap it home. Nothing doing there. Luke Ertl flying in the front court for Mount Vernon. Euro steps around the defender, scoops it up and is blocked by Dikembe Shaw. And then he throws it out of bounds off of the foot of Dikembe Shaw. Those are the two players we had our eyes on coming in. They're meeting early. 6:51 to go in the first quarter. We're still scoreless.
Yeah, Shaw looks a little bit juiced up right now. That's why he wanted to get that block in there for sure. Not letting anybody score right now, but I believe 0 for 3 to start things up for Ertl here from short range. So they're going to start falling. So if you can start making sure that he's going to stay as scoreless as long as possible as MJ Wilson checks in for Mason Darrell, who's having a little bit of discomfort, it looks like.
And he'll be escorted back with a trainer right now. Ertl to inbounds it. He fires it to the left wing for Jack Gare. Kingston Rhodes all over him. Takes one dribble, nearly throws it away. Good recovery by Jamari Collins. Right wing back up top. And they'll reset with Luke Ertl. We're still looking for our first points of the night here. We're nearly 90 seconds in.
So good defensively for Crown Point. They overplayed just a little bit was MJ Wilson, but the help defense was there spectacularly as they're trying a little over the top, had it stripped.
Max Weiss got tangled up. Loose ball deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Cooper Mulaski on the right block. It rolls out of bounds. It'll be baseline left. 6:26 to go first quarter. Crown Point 0, Mount Vernon 0 here in the 4A state title game.
Yeah, defensively, Crown Point just doing so well, not giving any lanes, not giving any opportunities. And then you already got Dikembe Shaw with a block in here, which is going to get guys thinking a little bit.
Ertl, baseline right, kicks it out to the right corner. A catch and shoot three for Collins, no good. Rebound gets deflected into the hands of the newly checked in MJ Wilson.
MJ Wilson using all 6'4" that frame.
Dikembe Shaw fakes left wing three. Now will pull up and hit it. Nope. It's too strong. Wilson tries, and he's stripped at the waist side by Brady Weber. Weber comes in. He had 4 points, including 3 offensive rebounds during the first matchup back in December between these two sides in a non-conference holiday tournament clash. Max Weiss, top of the key. Picks up a screen from Ertl. Drives it left side of the lane. Too strong off the glass. Shaw the rebound for Crown Point, pushing the pace. Stops, angles left. And we'll circle it back down out into the corner. Shaw drives baseline left now. Cross court, kicks it out. Rhodes a right corner three. That's good for the first points of this state title game. 3-0 Bulldogs with 5:37 left in the first quarter.
Kingston Rhodes has been so quiet so far to start this one. Finds himself in the corner all alone. Dumps it in there for the three.
He's only a 31% three-point shooter. The reason why I say
he's 100% right now.
The reason why I say only 31 is because the team average is 35 per game this season. Here's Ertl, right wing, looking to respond from three. It bounces off the front of the rim, off the backboard and in.
I say it wasn't going to take long for him to get on the board.
MJ Wilson drives, and he's swatted away by Max Weiss. He led the Hoosier Heritage Conference, Vice did, in blocks per game this season with 1.8. And he picks up his first in this Class 4A state title game. It's 3-3 with 5:11 left in the first quarter.
See, the unfortunate thing is Mason Darrell's going to come back in for him, so the last thing he's going to think about is that block shot. I don't want him to get another opportunity to go to rim and try to get a basket. So that way, that's not what he's thinking about.
Bryce Peters will try a left wing three, and that one's pure. Right off the inbounds pass, it went baseline left right to Peters, who jab stepped with his right foot and fired up a three. It's 6-3 Bulldogs, 4:53 to play as they lead Mount Vernon.
You didn't say nothing about weather here in the in Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Raining threes so far, partner.
It was clear outside of the forecast. There's Luke Erdl, top of the arc at the state finals logo at midcourt. To his right now for
Peters
Jack Gare.
is smothering him. It's great.
Gares has to stop his dribble about 35 feet away from the basket, and he'll clear it on out with Max Weiss just in front of midcourt. 4.5 to play. Max driving with his left hand off the glass, too strong, and Peters comes down with the defensive rebound for Crown Point. Pushes the pace, stops in transition, left wing three is short. Shaw comes flying in for the rebound, puts it up, no good. Tipped around, Shaw got his own off the right block, and he puts it home.
Dikembe Shaw doing it all underneath. Yeah, the shots are missed, but he's getting the rebounds, putting it back home. He will not be denied.
Full turnover from Shaw, forces a turnover. He slapped it off the right leg of Luke Erdl. It'll be Bulldogs basketball, baseline left, leading 8-3 with 4:04 to go, as MJ Wilson will check in for Cooper Mulaski.
This defense can smother you in big ways and deny you, and they denied that inbound. Well, they didn't deny the inbound pass. They got it in, but then they just smothered the defense and forcing them to turn it over. Dikembe Shaw, I told you, when he wants to turn it on, he can turn it on. And he's turning it on right now.
He stops his dribble off the left block, kicks it in the right corner, driving baseline right. Wilson kicks it out. Right wing three for Rhodes, off the mark to the left. The rebound for Jack Gare of Mount Vernon. This is a team that only uses about a 7-man rotation. He pushes it up to Erdl, and an offensive foul is called. Erdl gets called for the extension of the forearm of Mason Darrell. With 3:45 to play, Crown Point leading 8-3. That brings us to our first timeout of the night. Bulldogs up by 5. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Indiana High School Class Boys Basketball 4A State Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Mortaranos Roofing is a family-owned business established in 1986, celebrating over 40 years. We have completed over 5,600 roof replacements, repairs, and chimney projects, focused in Northwest Indiana and Southwest Michigan. Mortaranos Roofing has always put family, friends, and customers first in our mission to complete roofing projects with the greatest care and consideration as if it was our own. Give them a call today for a free estimate at 219-872-8246. Mortaranos Roofing. Protect your past, present, and future roofs for you and your loved ones and your legacy.
With offices in Munster and Cedar Lake, Ethos Dental Group offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, dental care you can believe in.
Mayor Pete Land and the Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point Athletics and say, go Bulldogs! Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in-city services, and encouraging smart growth. Registration is now open for the spring/summer 2026 Crown Point athletic programs. For a complete list of adult and youth activities, visit crownpoint.info/league apps. Bulldogs leading 8-3 after the first media timeout with 3:45 left. Cam later. Michael Bradner with you here on the Region Sports Network. So far, missed shots and a little bit of nervousness from both sides has really been the story for the first, just over 4 minutes.
Yeah, no question about it, but I'm loving the way that Crown Point is playing this game defensively. They are not allowing them to really get to the rim. Those shots that they're taking, yes, they're high percentage shots, but you can just tell they're a little off balance. They're not comfortable with the shots. They're leaving them short. They're leaving them long, so they're not finding that right spot, and that's just because they feel like their timing is off just a little bit, and that's all credit to Crown Point's defense right now.
Bulldogs leading 8-3 right now. They're shooting it at 3-11 from the floor. Mount Vernon's only 1 of 8 from the floor as well. It'll be side out in front of the Crown Point bench. Bulldogs with the basketball moving left to right. Kingston Rhodes will control. This might be the first time I actually see a set offense here for Crown Point. It's Shaw at the top of the arc. picks up his dribble, hands it on off now to Bryce Peters. Picks up a screen from Shaw. Peters drives, right elbow jumper is short. Rebound there for Brady Weber of Mount Vernon.
It's a great screen from Shaw. I got to capitalize on those.
Ertl kicks it, right wing three for Max Weiss in transition is down. Max Weiss can actually shoot from three-point range. He's a big man. He's a 30% shooter. He cuts the deficit to 2, 8-6, 3:15 left. Shaw on the other end driving, left block, shot no good. Tipped home though by Bryce Peters, or check that, Mason Darrell rather.
Mason Darrell in there with the cleanup off the missed shot from Dikembe Shaw. Mason Darrell could be your X factor in a game like this. He is a born leader, and he will definitely do the dirty work when he has to.
3:02 to play first quarter. Crown Point leading Mount Vernon 10-6. Max Weiss with the basketball, bounces it over to Luke Ertl straight away from distance. Got it right back on the left wing. Max Weiss now catches it. Free throw line jumper is off the back of the rim and out. And once again, Mason Darrell, another rebound. He has been busy so far. That is his third rebound already of this first quarter. Shaw on the other end, driving right side of the lane. Stops, spins inside, hands it on off. Rhodes pump fakes, and he's denied. Max Weiss has his second block of the quarter. A long-range outlet pass for the wing three for Darrell is no good. And Ertl snatches it for Mount Vernon.
I know Darrell has comfort shooting from long range like that, but got to work on just getting good shots up so that way they can get their points that they need. Only a 4-point lead right now.
Here's Ertl dancing on the Gamebridge Fieldhouse logo on the right side. Trying to blow by Peters. He does. Puts up a shot, no good. Snatching it as Weber puts it up through contact. It rolls off the rim and in. Crown Point still leads 10-8, 2 minutes to play first quarter.
Coach Swan calling out the play that they want. Everyone's paying attention. Everyone's ready for their assignment, their role. Kingston Rhodes with it right now.
Top of the arc. Quarterback in the offense looking for Shaw on the right wing. He does. Jack Gare all over him. Shaw pulls up right wing three. You bet!
That is beautiful.
13-8 with 1:36 to go first quarter. Dikembe Shaw starting to heat up here. His first 3-point field goal of the night.
He's the leading scorer for Crown Point right now with 4 different scorers for the Bulldogs.
They facilitate it better than maybe anyone in the state. As Darrell comes away with a steal on the left wing, pushing the pace. Mason Darrell comes flying in and dunks it home with 2 hands.
I told you, Mason Darrell defensively, when he's ready to kick things up into high gear, he's got it.
Crown Point leads 15-8, 1:08 to play. Ertl on the other end trying to make magic happen, drives to the right side, and he's fouled and will go to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, it definitely looks, I'm going to say, I think Darrell's in some discomfort, but he's going to want to make sure he stays in the game.
He's a 24.4 points per night guy, Luke Ertl is, as he goes to the line. 88% free throw shooter on the season. 66 seconds left in the first quarter. It's 15-8 Crown Point. Ertl, left-handed shot is pure. And now we'll see a host of subs come in. Reed Kagi enters for the first time tonight. Mulaski will rejoin as well for Crown Point. Bulldogs are as deep of a team as you could find in the region. That's why they blew through the Duneland Conference, a 7-0 record.
Well, that's one reason they blew through this state tournament so far, except for that game against Lake Central.
That Lake Central game, keep in mind, has been the closest margin of victory for them since their 4-point win over Brownsburg back on January 3rd. They haven't played in a lot of close games as Ertl goes 2 for 2. The lead is 15-10 to Crown Point, 54 seconds left. Mulaski off the right block, stops, spins inside, hook shot doesn't fall. Rebound for Kagi, and he draws a defensive foul on the rebound.
So he'll take that, no question about it.
Owen Doherty, who just checked in, I believe is going to get called for the infraction. And he does. His first personal. Been a relatively clean first quarter. 2 fouls to Mount Vernon, 1 to Crown Point. Inbounded to Mulaski, top of the arc for 3. It's strong. It bounces off the top of the backboard and into the hands of Doherty and Mount Vernon. 40 seconds left. Ertl pushing the tempo here. Stops at the top of the arc, hands off to Max Weiss. Weiss driving, kicks it out. Left corner, Mason Meyer fakes, drives baseline, stops again, puts it up through contact, doesn't fall, but he's going to the line for 2.
There was a lot of air for the Crown Point players. Dikembe Shaw getting in the way. He averted the Mason Meyer avoiding that pressure, and then met the defensive pressure of Caden Rhodes. And Caden Rhodes had to take a little bit of a tumble. By the way, Kevin, we're going to hand out some awards at the end of this one as well. We've got the Crowell Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the game. The Crowell Companies are proud to recognize the superheroes on the basketball court. We got the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the game, Ernie White learned with Boilermakers Local 374. And the Proud Union Home Play of the game presented by Ironworkers Local 395.
Going 0 for 2 there, by the way, it was Weber, as you were saying.
Oh, I was just going to say, we got... I had it there for a second.
We'll come back to it as it's still 15-10, 17 seconds left first quarter. Shaw has it, top of the arc. Angles towards his left. He has Mason Darrow on the left wing, fakes the three, stumbles, got his zone, and he throws it into the backcourt. Chasing it down is Caden Rowan. He'll touch it for the backcourt violation with 4.5 left.
That was Ironworkers Local 395. To find out how you can become a union ironworker, visit ironworkers395.com. See, I had it.
There you go. Clint Swan not happy with that turnover. Baseline left now for Mount Vernon. A chance to cut this deficit to 3 or 2 with 4.5 left in the first quarter. As a sub will come in, Jamari Collins will rejoin. He'll replace Mason Meyer.
So for Crown Point, they've got 4 different scores, 4 of the 5 starters. And then for the Marauders, they've only got 3 different scores.
It's inbound to Ertl, left wing, step back three, deflected by Shaw, and that's how the first quarter will come to an end. Really fun, defensive-minded first quarter. That sees just 25 combined points. Crown Point leads it 15-10 after 1. We'll step aside for a brief moment. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Indiana High School Class Boys Basketball 4A State Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Bad things could happen when you least expect them. An accident, a mistake, a moment that turns your life upside down. At the law office of Weiss, Schmidgall, and Hires, we understand that bad things happen to good people. And when they do, you deserve a team that listens, cares, and fights to make things right. Whether you're facing criminal charges, planning for your estate, or seeking assistance with your business, we're here to guide you forward with strength and experience. Call the law office of Weiss, Schmidgall, and Hires today for a free consultation, or visit them on the web at wshlegal.com for more information. Weiss, Schmidgall, and Hires, protecting your rights and preserving your freedom. In real estate, it's not just about properties, it's about people. At the Nickla Group, our team is made up of dedicated professionals who go beyond the sale. They're your neighbors, your advocates, and your trusted guides through every step of the journey. From first-time buyers to growing families and lifelong investors, our agents take the time to understand what matters most to you because every move is personal. Contact Alex Nickla, a 2013 Crown Point High School graduate, to get started at 219-510-7199. With experience you could count on and service you could feel, we're here when it matters most. The Nickla Group, the trusted Northwest Indiana real estate team.
Tonight's coverage of the Class 4A State Championship basketball game is brought to you by the Region Lawyers, the gold standard for legal representation. Call today at 219-885-3957 or visit them on the web at theregionlawyers.com to schedule your free consultation. 15-10 as we're about to begin the second quarter. Michael Bradner, what was your takeaways from the first?
The defensive pressure for Crown Point right now, and the big thing is keeping Luke Ertl off of the scoring column as much as they can. He's got 5 points, which is leading the team, but I would say, considering he averages 24 points a game, keeping him to 5 right now is a pretty big win when you have a 5-point lead as well. So he's got half of those points for Mount Vernon. But I just love the shot selection by Dikembe Shaw, by Mason Darrell. He was in there with a two-handed jam as well. But if you can get some threes in big moments, this is going to be really good for the Crown Point Bulldogs. Nothing really trendy-wise going on for Crown Point at the moment, but really intrigued to see how they come out here in this second quarter, continue this pressure on. Can they maintain this pressure and this tempo? See, one of the things that I've always kind of wondered, and I haven't asked too many coaches about it, when you are blowing teams out at the margin at which a lot of these teams sometimes do, what is your endurance like late in the game when you have to face an opponent late? Crown Point hasn't really been challenged so much in this tournament so far, so how is that going to affect them later on down the road? We're going to find out.
Has been since the sectional round, as immediately off the inbounds, Crown Point turns it over as the second quarter begins. Bulldogs move from left to right.
Yeah, too much popcorn right pregame. Yeah, too much popcorn pregame from our...
Let me tell you, man, that's good gourmet popcorn. I don't blame them. Mount Vernon again set for their first possession of the second quarter. They'll inbound it to Max Weiss underneath the shadows of their own basket, who bounces it over. It's Luke Ertl, 24.4 points per game. He's only got 5, though, tonight. Ertl stops his dribble, angles it right for Weiss on the wing. Weiss against Mulaski, drives it baseline right, tries to fire it into the paint. No one was home for Mount Vernon. Rhodes comes away with it for Crown Point, pushing it up the floor. Bryce Peters fakes, drives it left, stops and kicks it back out to the left wing for Shaw. Shaw angling right inside the paint, stops, spins, Pivots again, falling away, and hits the fader.
I tell you what, Mount Vernon's pressure on Shaw, I mean, he had hands all over him and yet was still able to get out of the pressure, turn, and fire a nice shot.
17-10 Crown Point lead, 7:12 to play. Here's Ertl inside the left wing, and he'll dribble it back on out. Shaw all over him right now. He'll pull up from the logo, and it's too strong. Darrell the rebound for Crown Point on the weak side, driving it up the left side of the floor. Hands it off to Bryce Peters on the state finals logo, slathered across this hardwood floor in front of a packed house here at Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Left corner now, it's Shaw. Dikembe Shaw drives the baseline left, up and under, and he's fouled, going for a layup. And I'll go to the line with 2, with 6:46 to play in the first half.
Yeah, he's playing with some fearlessness right now. Just wonder how long it's going to be able to continue on throughout this intense of a game. I'm sure Coach Swan has been working on that endurance all week, though, knowing that this is going to be a high-intensity basketball game.
First foul of the quarter, and it goes to Owen Doherty, his second personnel, and he'll exit in place of Jack Gare as Shaw delivers in the first free throw attempt. 18-10, Crown Point up. Shaw, one of the top players in the entire region, 5th in the DAC in points per game. He was tied for 5th in rebounds with Bryce Kobe of Portage, as he goes 2 for 2 on that trip to extend the Bulldogs to a 9-point lead with 6:45 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, by no means can you let up defensively or offensively. You got to keep putting your foot on the gas. Got to keep up the intensity here. Caden Rhodes with great defense, sliding and shuffling his feet.
They'll have to reset with Max Weiss, their center, at the top of the arc with Mulaski all over him. He goes to his right for Weber on the wing. Right corner now, it's Ertl. Drives it baseline left now. He gives it off. They kick it back out. Weiss, the catch and shoot 3 is shy. Rebound gets deflected and punched out of bounds, and it's going the other way. It was last touched by Brady Weber of Mountain Vernon. Give credit to Mason Darrell. He got great positioning there on the box set off the left block.
Well, it's been a couple times now. Darrell and Shaw have come down with the same rebound, or at least trying to fight for that same rebound. You got to get a communication going and do a little same, so that way they know each one of them is coming for it, so somebody grabs that.
Caden Rhodes controlling the basketball right now for Crown Point. Hands it on off now on the wing for Darrell. They switch it on the left side now. Shaw hands it off. Top of the arc, Mulaski, who had dribbles, hands it off now for Peters. Picks up a screen from Mulaski, drives it right side the alleyway, kicks it to the near side corner. It was Rhodes, and he'll drive him back on it out. They swing it around. Left wing 3 for Shaw is long. Ball gets tipped around, and it falls into the hand of Luke Ertl, who, guess who, is the team's leading rebounder. In transition, Jabari Collins thought about a left wing 3. Ball gets tipped around. Nearly coming away with a steal was Peters. Instead, it falls to Weber, who kicks it out to the left corner. Weber can't hit the 3. Long weak side rebound is recovered by Caden Rhodes at Crown Point, and they'll move in transition. Up ahead to Dikembe Shaw in the left corner. Getting double teamed for a moment. Stops his dribble, spins, and flings it on out. All the way over now. They rotate to the right side. Into the lane now. It's Mulaski who lays it in for an easy 2.
Man, the relentlessness on the defensive end leads to points on the offensive end. Great ball movement. This is going to force Mount Vernon to a timeout. Let's go, Dogs!
It's a 30-second timeout with 21-10 the margin. 11-point lead for Crown Point with 5:11 to play. We'll take it with them. This is Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Have you heard? Stratford-Mantell was voted Best of the Region 2025 in several categories, including Best Caterer, Deli, Flower Shop, Food and Grocery Delivery, Fried Chicken, Place to Buy Produce, Place to Buy Seafood, Loyalty Program, and Grocery Store. We're proud to be recognized by our community, and we're committed to continuing to deliver the variety, value, and convenience you deserve. See for yourself what it means to be the best when you shop at Stratford-Mantell.
We'd like to remind everyone that tonight's live stream is powered by Absolute Power Systems in Griffin, providing exceptional service for industrial engines, pumps, and generator power systems. For more info, visit AbsolutePowerSystems.com. Absolute Power Systems, powering your business absolutely. Crown Point leading 21-10 after the 30-second timeout by Mount Vernon. The largest lead of the game for either side. Max Weiss dribbles into the front court for Mount Vernon on the left side. Looking against Mulaski. Stops his dribble on the left block. Bounces it back out to the top for Weber. Blows by a couple defenders. Kicks it left corner. And it's Weiss who drives. Stops inside the lane. Kicks it back on out. Ertl. Faked right. Faked left. Now goes left. Working against Peters on that left wing. He'll now hesitate and accelerate to the lane. Puts up a runner. And it rolls in and out. But Luke Ertl's going to the line for a pair.
So if you can limit Ertl, because he's been held pretty much to be 1 for 7 on the day, but he's 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. I'll take having to force him to make 2 free throws as opposed to doing his thing out in the paint. One of the things that the last update we got, this number is going to change because last update we got was when it was 15-10. Second chance points for Crown Point, 7-2. That number has probably expanded a little bit since at the last update that we had.
7-2 is the current tally right now.
Okay, so it's the same. All right.
It's the same, yeah. Ertl hits the first one, second one up off the front of the iron and the backboard, and it kisses in. 21-12 the score in favor of Crown Point. 4:45 to play here in our first half. Mason Darrell, a dribble handoff on the left wing for Shaw. Here gives to Molaski, who then gives at the top of the arc for Darrell. Angles right, behind the back, kicks it out to Rhodes. Back to Darrell, top of the arc, fakes a 3, steps inside, pulls up for a long 2. That one can't hit. Ertl comes down with the rebound on the defensive side. Boy, did they need that, I should say.
It's got to keep the confidence, though, if you're Mason Darrell, because those shots are going to continue to fall at some point. But he's going to pick it up defensively. That's one thing I love about Darrell's game. Even if he misses offensively, he's going to kick it up defensively with a lot of intensity.
Caden Rhodes, a long 3, bounces in and out of the hands of Luke Ertl from the right side. It deflects into the hands of, guess who, Mason Darrell, who you're just talking about. He's flying through the lane, extends his forearm, and gets called for an offensive foul.
That was a lot of contact in the way. They're going to go the offensive foul. I think what doesn't look good was Darrell's forearm definitely getting right into that spot and a little bit of an extension. You can tell he's a little frustrated there as well with it.
And I'll take us into a timeout as well, so the Crown Point fans will have time to stew on that one as well. 3:54 to play in the first half. Bulldogs of Crown Point on top, 21-12. You're listening to the Class 4A Boys Basketball State Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
In life's most difficult moments, trust matters most. For over 80 years, Guy and Allen Funeral Home in Gary has been honored to serve families with compassion, dignity, and care. Our experienced team understands that every life is unique and every farewell should be too. That's why one of our 6 licensed funeral service professionals is available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Because when you need us, we are here. Contact us at 219-949-6325. Or you can find us online at guyandallenfuneralhome.com. Guy and Allen Funeral Home, our service, a sacred trust. When it's time to make your next move, experience matters. Meet Mary Cossey with Coldwell Banker Realty, a top real estate professional honored in the International Diamond Society and ranked among Northwest Indiana's elite agents. Mary specializes in guiding buyers and sellers throughout St. John, Munster, Dyer, and Crown Point, delivering expert strategy, strong negotiation, and exceptional results. From selling your home to finding your perfect one, trust the experience that elevates your real estate journey. Call Mary Cossey today at 219-313-5072 because the right home isn't just a purchase, it's a lifestyle.
Crown Point leads Mount Vernon 21-12 with 3:54 to play here in our first half. As we welcome you back to Cambridge Fieldhouse. Really interesting story. This second quarter, neither team can really get anything going. Crown Point outscoring Mount Vernon here in the second by a tally of 6-2. We mentioned second chance points, but really the big story has been the defensive glass. We've had a combined 19 defensive rebounds so far.
Yeah, the offensive glass and the defensive glass, Crown Point's really working that right now, but their shot selection is really good, and their defense, I'm going to continue to hone in on this, keeping Mount Vernon to 18% field goal shooting. That's a huge number to keep them on a low end, and then Crown Point shooting 33% right now. But yeah, the rebounds are really working in favor of the Crown Point Bulldogs right now.
I'd like to remind everyone that tonight's live stream is powered by Absolute Power Systems in Griffith, providing exceptional service for industrial engines, pumps, and generator power systems. For more info, visit AbsolutePowerSystems.com. Absolute Power Systems, powering your business, absolutely. Keep in mind, big story as well, Mount Vernon is only 3 of 17 as a team from the floor. They have 4 points from the free throw line, which is really what's kept them in this game.
Yeah, that's where, they're 4 of 6 from the charity stripe, so if they're not getting there, that's 4 points off the board. This is a 21-8 ball game. So really interesting. So Crown Point's just got to continue to be on defensively. Jack Lux checks into the game along with MJ Wilson again as well. Bryce Peters, by the way, with 2 fouls in this one, so we may not see him the rest of the half.
Here is now Luke Ertl into the front court. Fires it down low to Max Weiss. Fakes the pass to the wing. Steps back, falling away from the paint. It drops off the front of the iron and down. 21-14. Crown Point still leads. 3:33 left in the half.
But it got a nice roll, but it hit the front of the rim. So it was still a little bit short. Just happened to roll in his favor. Got a good rotation on it.
Defense chants coming out from the large population of Mount Vernon fans who have made the trip here tonight. Jax Lux with the basketball. Angles left. They swing it around in the left corner now for Molaski. One dribble, picks it up and fires it over to Rhodes on the left wing. Back out top now, they'll reset with Caden Rhodes. Earl all over him. Rhodes shuffles over to his right. Swings it back to his brother. And they'll slow it down with Lux. Now to the other wing, now it goes for MJ Wilson. 2:57 to play in the half. Wilson fakes right, drives left. Has his pocket picked from behind him. Loose ball, and it's taken away by Luke Ertl of Mount Vernon. Ertl stops, fires a long 2 from the top of the arc, and that's good. 21-16. His foot was on the three-point line with 2:41 to go. Here come the Marauders.
Officials right over that one. But, yeah, got to get something going offensively here. Got to get a good play. Got to get moving without the ball. A lot of standing right now, so they got to move here right now.
Crown Point hasn't scored in 2.5 minutes. During that span, Mount Vernon's gone on a 6-0 run. 2:24 to play. Kingston Rhodes gives it out to Caden Rhodes. Just inside the three-point line, left side. They swing it around now. It's Kingston Rhodes who comes to collect. Rhodes driving, spinning away from Collins, off the right block. Oh, that was pretty off the glass and in.
One important feature of that, he got that to go high off the window to roll right down. Got that over the hands of Max Weiss, who stands 6'8".
23-16, Bulldogs lead. 2 minutes to play in the first frame. Here's Ertl, picks up a couple of screens, drives to the left side of the lane, puts up through contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Believe Molaski will get called for the foul there.
Yeah, the help defense coming just a smidge late on that one for Crown Point. So Molaski had to step in as kind of that last valve to be there to stop the pressure, and that's where Ertl's going to attack him. So for Molaski, he picks up his first foul of the game.
It is the third as a team for Crown Point in this quarter as Ertl connects on the front end. Dikembe Shaw will check back in, replacing Cooper Molaski for Crown Point.
5 of 5 from the line for Ertl.
Yeah, half his points have come from the stripe tonight. That was his 10th point of the game. That first free throw attempt was. Dribbles with the left hand, flick of the left wrist, and it's pure. 23-18 now the score with 1:53 left in the first half.
I was hoping for a little announcer jinx given the number out there.
I tried. Here's Shaw at the free throw line, stops, angles right, looking for help.
That should be
Weiss
a
all
foul,
over
yep,
him, and Weiss reaches from behind and will get called for an over-the-back call.
Yeah, that hand came over the back of Shaw, so wasn't in the act of shooting, so they'll just inbound underneath their basket. So we're going to see what Coach Swan has here for an under-the-basket play.
They're able to inbound baseline right, finds Rhodes on the left block, stops, puts off the glass, is short. Ertl snatches it with the left hand for Mount Vernon. Gets slapped in the face in the process, and now the time is going to be called. Joe Bradburn is furious right now.
That's he just got in the face of the official, and the official got right back in his face. Love to see that. Not backing down. Yeah, no call for a whistle and a foul.
And keep in mind, there's no video review, so that can't get elevated like it could at the college or the pro ball game. So it'll just be a injury timeout, and now Crown Point can set up a full court press here, and they will.
I like when things get, I don't want things to get out of hand, but I like a little chippiness that makes things a little bit entertaining.
Here's Ertl, who calls for a screen at the top of the arc. He gets it from Collins.
The farther you can keep Ertl away from the three-point line, the better.
He'll try an NBA range three. It's no good. Ball gets tipped around. Kingston Rhodes saves the possession for Crown Point.
But yeah, he felt the need to shoot a long-range three and came up short.
Rhodes now flying, trying to go coast-to-coast through contact, puts it off the glass, and he muscles it home. 25-18, Crown Point, 1:02 to go. Here comes Mount Vernon the other way. It's Ertl
here.
Darrell over him. Ertl blows by him, bounces it on the baseline. Max Weiss goes up and under. That's a good move to score it off the window. 25-20 the score, 50 seconds left.
Yeah, Shaw just got a little bit caught ball watching there. Got a little too late on the defensive end.
And Crown Point, I was going to try to hold this for the last shot. Right in front of the half-court line is Mason Darrell.
I can hear the noise that you hear is for the shot clock advocates right now.
Whole lot of boos. Darrell fakes.
There's the count.
Dribbles to avoid the 5, and he'll kick it out. Cross court now, opposite sideline. Jack Lux driving. Wide open is the lane. He takes it right down the middle and scores. 27-20. Jack Lux, he's only a 2.7 per game guy. On the other end, a quarterback pass. Vikes kicks it out. Right corner, 3 off the way is no good. It comes up short. Now on the other end, Darrell with 3 seconds. Left wing 3. Got it to go right before the horn. 30-20, Crown Point leads at the half.
When you pick things up on the defensive end, good things can happen on the offensive end. The ball movement, the long-range passes working for Crown Point right now. 10-point lead into the half. Let's go, boys.
A chaotic sequence right before the buzzer sees Crown Point's second largest lead of the game. They make 3 of their final 3 shots from the floor, going right into the locker room. We'll take a break. Halftime report coming up next. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Indiana High School Class Boys Basketball 4A State Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
It's time for the Commissioner's Corner, an exclusive weekly conversation about Indiana high school sports with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. Now for an up-to-the-minute report about what's happening in the constantly changing world of high school sports, here's Commissioner Paul Neidig.
Welcome to a special in-person version of the Commissioner's Corner. It's our weekly conversation with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. I'm Brendan King. Paul, what's to be said? IHSAA Boys Basketball State Finals. We're at Gamebridge Fieldhouse, getting to be together today instead of through Zoom. This is one of the best times of year. You take it from there.
Well, first of all, I get to hang out with you today, and that's really a great day for me. And Eddie, I appreciate the work that you do, but here we are. We've written 114 chapters about the Indiana High School Basketball Association tournament, and this year we're going to write 115 for the next chapter in the book. And, you know, it is a storybook because there's so many stories over the year, and every year puts a new spin on it. New teams win. There may be another last-second Luke Zeller shot to win a game. We just don't know. But we're excited to see how that story unfolds this coming Saturday.
We are passionate about every single IHSAA sport and event, but this is a tournament that you yourself got to play in. So when you see the kids in there getting interviewed by the media professionals, you have your meetings with the coaches, what memories does that bring back for you?
Well, it's always been about the dream. You know, your coach talks to you in the summertime about you need to do this, you need to work hard, you need to get better, and that way you can start achieving your dreams as a basketball player. And the team goal was always to win a sectional, number one, and then obviously see where you can advance to the tournament. And so those things I remember vividly about. I learned to dream when I was a high school athlete. My coach taught me that I could do things that I couldn't see for myself, which allowed me to advance through the rest of my life as an educator and ultimately as the commissioner of the IHSAA. And I'm so thankful that I grew up in a system and a state that cares more about development of student athletes than it does sometimes in the wins and the losses. And I think that's why Indiana is just a special place.
4 spectacular ball games on tap. You're meeting again with all the teams today on this Monday at Gamebridge Fieldhouse where we're talking today. What's this set for you guys to get those expectations set for everybody and everybody on the same page come Saturday?
Well, first of all, we're playing in a different kind of venue. We're playing in the best basketball facility in the country. We're working with great people with Pacer Sports and Entertainment. But it's different. It's different when it comes to the seating and how we do ticketing and the time schedule that we have and all the pageantry that goes along with the state finals. So we've got to get everybody up to speed on that information today, which we're working hard to do. Staff does a great job. Brian Lewis runs the boys basketball tournament, and Brian's phenomenal in his organization around this. And everybody's going to get a path to get to that game. And once we hit that buzzer and the teams take the floor, Hayes in the barn. We're ready to go. We're ready to play some games.
That's Paul and Brendan. It's the Commissioner's Corner. And again, coming up on Saturday, it's the IHSAA boys basketball state finals. Let's talk about your partners in the Pacers and the Fever that helped put this on. You talked about how special of a venue this is, that fact that we get to be here today, with everybody getting things set for Saturday. That relationship that you guys have built with Pacer Sports and Entertainment, what's it meaningful?
Well, it's incredible. Not every state gets to enjoy what we do with the Pacer Sports and Entertainment, and their people want us here. We feel that when we come in here. They're excited when we come into the venue. We're excited to be here. And again, I've worked in a lot of facilities, and I hear stories from a lot of states. It doesn't work this way everywhere else. It works this way in Indiana because Indiana is it's just a special place. It's different than other states, and we're excited to be part of that. But we also understand that we're guests when we're here, and we've got to make sure that we treat it as special as it is. But we know that we're guests, and we're going to follow whatever they tell us to do on this great day.
Small communities, big communities, all coming out on Saturday. But you guys expecting big numbers?
We are, and it shows that communities still matter. But culture is first and foremost. If a community has a great culture, their teams are going to follow them to the state finals, and I think we're going to have some great crowds on Saturday.
Paul, about 20 seconds here, just putting a wrap on this IHSAA sports season, or at least this winter sports season with basketball. How proud of what you did this year in both girls and boys hoops?
Well,
welcome back. Be sure to stay connected with all things Region Sports, as we are always active on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, and on our website at regionsports.com. Celebrating over 25 years, we're proud to still be the only game in town. Halftime here with Crown Point leading 30-20 over the Mount Vernon Marauders. Kappa Malater, Michael Bradner with you here for the Region Sports Network. And Mike, let's just dive right into it. 15-10 was the quarter score in each of those first two quarters of this first half. And when you look at this game, really, the shooting has been the big story. Mount Vernon, a team that normally shoots it at 49% from the floor, 39 from three. They're shooting it at 33% from the floor, and they're 0 for 6 from distance.
Yeah, 33% in that second quarter. In the game total for Mount Vernon, they're shooting 27%. So really keeping them off the shooting margin in general, but keeping them to 18% shooting on the three-point range as well. The only thing that they're really kicking butt in right now is the free throw shooting. That's pretty much coming from Luke Ertl at this point. But, man, Crown Point doing all the dirty work inside the paint as well. 16 of their 30 points inside the paint right now. So even if they're getting those missed shots, they're getting those second chance opportunities. We talked about the rebound numbers. 21 rebounds right now for Crown Point. 13 of them on the defensive end. So not a bad number to have if you're the Crown Point Bulldogs right now. And guess what? Nobody in double-figure scoring right now. They are going all up and down the lineup right now for scores.
I want to go deeper dive on that that 0 for 6 number in the second quarter for Mount Vernon, I should say, from three-point range. And you look at the numbers overall from the half, they went 2 for 11 from three-point range. Do you attest that to law of averages? Shots aren't going to fall in the first half, but they're going to fall eventually. Or do you attribute that to, Crown Point's really played tight on the perimeter tonight?
I think Crown Point has played tight all over the court so far, but yes, especially on the perimeter. And some of those shots are coming from Luke Ertl, who normally is going to be hitting those. You said he shoots in the high numbers when it comes to three-point percentage. So there's something just a little bit off about his shot right now. Law of large numbers says that, yes, they're going to start falling eventually, but at some point you also have the opportunity to really get in their head, and that might be where they're at right now. Luke Ertl hasn't had a whole lot of shots falling down. He's, 2 of 10 from the field. So his number is definitely not where they would normally be, so he might be in his head a little bit. He's the only person today that is in double-figure scoring, and that's mainly because of all of his attempts at the free throw line.
Let's give you some team leaders real quick right now. Luke Ertl, despite we talked about, it's a bad night for him so far shooting it. He's only 2 for 10. He's got 11 points. Is actually the game's leader in points scored so far. Dikembe Shaw leads Crown Point with 9 points. The game's leading rebounder is Mason Darrell with 6. Luke Ertl leads Mount Vernon with 5. And then Darrell also has 2 assists for Crown Point. Ertl's got 3. That's the game leaders there so far. For Crown Point, you mentioned it earlier in the broadcast. The hero tonight could very well be Mason Darrell and what he brings to this team. Everyone talks so much about Dikembe Shaw. Mason Darrell was huge in that second quarter.
Yeah, defensively for sure, and then he kind of came on offensively, got the three-point basket. But, yeah, his defense is bar none. And you know what? It's his leadership. It's that senior experience that he comes with as well. Dikembe Shaw in that first quarter tried to put the team on his back a little bit, and maybe has kind of pulled off a little bit on that because he doesn't have to do everything, and I think he knows that. But I think there's a lot of expected of him. But then when you look at Mason Darrell, he's doing if he misses a shot, he's right back down defensively and doing what he's got to do to get the ball turned over. That's another high number. They're tied right now at 4, but 4 turnovers for the Crown Point Bulldogs. Got to take advantage.
Certainly the case. We got about just under 5 minutes until the second half resumes. We'll step aside for a brief moment. You're listening to Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Have you heard? Stratford-Mantell was voted Best of the Region 2025 in several categories, including Best Caterer, Deli, Flower Shop, Food and Grocery Delivery, Fried Chicken, Place to Buy Produce, Place to Buy Seafood, Loyalty Program, and Grocery Store. We're proud to be recognized by our community, and we're committed to continuing to deliver the variety, value, and convenience you deserve. See for yourself what it means to be the best when you shop at Stratford-Mantell.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Headquartered in Griffith, Indiana, Absolute Power Systems has been delivering top-notch service since 2004, with a team of skilled technicians boasting extensive training on some of the biggest names in the business, like Cummins, Caterpillar, John Deere, Volvo, and more. They focus on providing exceptional industrial engine service and generator power system maintenance and repair. Check them out on the web at absolutepowersystems.com. Absolute Power Systems, powering your business absolutely.
Get Pulse Technology on your team and score a touchdown with our managed print and copier services. Cover your bases with our IT and technology solutions, or hit a home run with our wide selection of office supplies. Scoreboards or AV solutions from Pulse Technology. That's a slam dunk. Or go for the grand slam with our office furniture and design services. Get in touch with us today. Pulse Technology, powering Indiana business since 1919.
Welcome back inside Gamebridge Fieldhouse, and we'd like to remind everyone that Mayor Pete Land and the Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point Athletics and say, "Go Bulldogs!" Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in-city services, and encouraging smart growth. Registration is now open for the spring/summer 2026 Crown Point Athletic programs. For a complete list of adult and youth activities, visit crownpoint.info/league-apps. Walking you back again to downtown Indianapolis, the Circle City site for this Class 4A Boys Basketball State Championship. Captain Player Michael Brander, Mike Dewan, Chris Ramirez, Rich Castillo, Zach Miller, and our entire Region Sports Network crew welcome you back to Indy, and Crown Point leading 30-20 here on our audio-only broadcast of this state final. Getting set for the second half here. What's one key to the game, or really one key to the second half, I should say, for each side?
I say for Mount Vernon, you got to be able to get shots. You got to keep tacking a rim, and you got to get Crown Point into some foul trouble, so that way they might let up a little defensively if you're Mount Vernon. Obviously, we don't really want that to happen, but if you're Crown Point, you got to keep attacking the glass. You're getting a lot of your points in the paint, and you're doing a lot of good work defensively. Keep it up, keep that momentum up, keep that stamina up, and you're going to get a state championship in boys basketball, first time in history. We only got 2 quarters left to go. Let's see if we can bring it back home, the almost 140 miles back to the region in the beautiful Hub City.
First state title appearance for each of these programs, and they have been dominant, not just this season. These two teams won a combined 54 games to just 4 losses, which is a winning percentage of .931. But more importantly, these are two programs that have been dominant the last couple of years, but haven't found that success to get down to any. They are combined 96-13 across the last 2 seasons. Second half underway, Mount Vernon moving from right to left, or left to right, I should say, and they turn the ball over as Jack Gare dribbles it off his foot out of bounds.
That's because Mason Darrell got in front of him defensively and was able to deflect that and just kind of disrupt timing a little bit. Got the ball a little bit kicked away. The defense is just smothering, and Mason Darrell does it all in the dirty end.
Molaski lofts it inside, deflects it away. It kicks out to Bryce Peters, who tries a right wing 3, can't hit it. And Shaw got a piece of it, but Luke Ertl has it for Mount Vernon. Hesitates, shimmies by defender, puts up a runner through contact, it falls, plus the foul.
Yeah, he has some confidence going inside the paint there. He's got it in his head right now. He just has this look about him like, hey, if I keep driving into the lane, they're going to keep fouling me, and I'm going to keep going to the line. He's already got, 6 points there? So he's 6 of 6 from the charity stripe, and I believe the foul was on Peters, which is going to be his 3rd, so that's a big foul on Peters.
As Ertl converts on the 3-point play, he now makes the score Crown Point 30, Mount Vernon 23, with 7:36 left in the 3rd quarter. As Caden Rhodes will rejoin. I believe he's replacing Bryce Peters. At least that's what they announced. There's 2 of our officials come together.
So 7 of 7 from the charity stripe. Obviously, it's not a guy you want to foul, but at the same time, he's going to come in with confidence. You got to find a way to stop his momentum and stop him in the paint.
We have an update. They changed the foul. It's on Kingston Rhodes, not Bryce Peters. So that's Rhodes' first. So Peters stays out on the floor only with 2 fouls now. On the other end, Crown Point controls. Molaski top of the arc. He finds Peters on the right wing. Fakes left, dribbles and drives it right. They swing it around. Left wing 3 from Molaski is long. Off the back of the iron and out. Ertl comes away with the rebound. Pushes up ahead. Max Weiss in. Off the right block. He puts it off the glass and in. Just like that, it's a 5-point game. Crown Point 30, Mount Vernon 25, 7:08 left in the 3rd.
Yeah, you got to keep your momentum going on your end, though. Got to get a bucket here on this end. Might come from Dikembe Shaw.
He tries a left wing 3. It bounces off the front of the iron and off the glass, and it doesn't hit.
Maybe it's something on this side of the floor about shooting threes. I don't know.
We mentioned how Mount Vernon struggled as here's Ertl, kicks it out. Left wing 3 from Jack Gare is pure. This is a 2-point game. And Clint Swan takes his first timeout of the night. It's a full timeout. It's an 8-0 run to begin the second half for the Mount Vernon Marauders. They have swashbuckled their way back into this basketball game. 2-point game with 6:44 left in the 3rd. You're listening to Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
IBEW Local 697 isn't just wiring buildings. We're woven into the very fabric of Northwest Indiana. We're your neighbors. Our kids go to school with yours. We stand in the same bleachers cheering for the same high school teams. When you hire a union electrician, you're not just getting the highest quality work. You're supporting our community. IBEW Local 697, proudly powering our own.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Tonight's coverage of the Class 4A State Championship basketball game is brought to you by the Region Lawyers, the gold standard for legal representation. Call today at 219-885-3957 or visit them on the web at theregionlawyers.com to schedule your free consultation. 30-28 the score. Clint Swan has had to burn his first time out of the night. His team's giving up an 8-0 run right out of the locker room.
Well, he had to do a little consultating going on here right now in that timeout to try to get his team back momentum-wise. We're still in a TV timeout, by the way. But, he's got to talk to his guys and try to get things going there. I mean, you got, Mason Darrell and you got Brady Weber having a fun conversation going on here at center court as well. Love to be a fly on the wall for that conversation. Like, man, can you believe we're here in the middle of an NBA arena playing a basketball game? Like, how cool is this?
It's a pinch moment for all of us, including us, and we're just on the sidelines watching.
We got pretty good views, not going to lie.
We do. We're courtside here as we're back underway. Kingston Rhodes controls the basketball on the right side. Switches it around now. Shaw, left wing, hands it off. Peters stops. Left wing triple. Left it shy. Rebound deflected right in the hands of Mason Darrell. Can't bank in a left wing three as well. Vice a long weak side rebound from Mount Vernon and a chance to tie or take the lead with 6:23 left in the third.
And Coach Swan kind of in awe of the fact that nobody's able to hit those threes.
Vernon left the left-handed runner short. Shaw the rebound.
So at what point do you think, okay, maybe I just need to attack the rim here?
He drives and kicks, and resetting it as Bryce Peters, standing on the midcourt logo.
I like the idea of being able to, like, shooters shoot, but at the same time, maybe, just maybe, and we're going to hold the ball here near half court.
And you can hear the boos from the Mount Vernon fans. Once again, here's your shot clock argument as Mason Darrell will hold it and will pin it into the corner. That weird sideline half-court trap. They'll flip it cross court now. Same exact spot, but on the other end now for Kingston Rhodes, who dribbles to avoid a 5-second call. 5:37 left, third quarter, 30-28 Crown Point. He drives and kicks again. Darrell now.
Yeah, it's going to draw the ire of the fans here. They're just going to pass here near half court. I mean, what this does is it does limit your chances of getting Mount Vernon a chance to score here. This is why they're going to start to boo, and I get it, but and this. Did I just see there's maybe a little smirk by Coach Swan. But you know what? This is going to get a head game. This is going to get them off their rhythm as well. This isn't like the worst thing in the world if you're Crown Point. Yeah, they're holding on to the ball, and they're holding at half court. This is not what fans usually want to see. However, now you're going to give Mount Vernon a chance to get cold here, right? Because they're not in a rhythm of shooting at this point. Yeah, you just have half court, and they went on an 8-0 run.
So Luke Earl just said, come on, bring it the basketball. And Joe Bradburn said, hey, let them do this. 4:44 to go.
If you're the other coach, you're going to wait for time to go. You have the momentum going right now, so you're thinking to yourself, okay, there's little time here.
Rhodes driving, pinned into the right corner, got double team, ball deflected out of bounds. It stays with Crown Point.
And Coach Swan wanted a foul call there, but he was definitely looking. He was like, that better be hard ball, otherwise you better be calling a foul as well.
So it'll be Bryce Peters inbound in front of the Crown Point bench, side out. Lofts it into the top of the arc for Dikembe Shaw. Shaw works to his left, working around Gare, stops, puts up a jumper at the left block, and it falls. 32-28 Crown Point leads. 4:22 left. That's for your shot clock crowd, by the way.
That's what we gotta think about at that point in the game, where the momentum goes. 2-0 run right now. We're gonna stay. That's a new point of the game, or a start to the game. At that point, you're 2-0 run right now. Let's see where Crown Point goes with it.
Max Weiss trapped with the basketball on the left wing, driving and kicking it out as Weber. That ball deflected, and it falls into the hands of Kingston Rhodes. He then loses it. Bodies flying on the floor. It's a tie-up inside the paint. Possession gives it to Crown Point.
But again, that's Crown Point smothering and just getting into the pressure and getting them off their rhythm, as we're going to have an under 4 timeout here.
3:57 remaining, third quarter. It's Crown Point 32, Mount Vernon 28. The boos are flying for the Mount Vernon faithful. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Indiana High School Class Boys Basketball 4A State Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4, ajobdoneright.com.
Calling all current and future homeowners in the Northwest Indiana area. Whether you're buying or selling, Brent Wright is here to make your real estate journey smooth and successful. With years of experience, personalized service, and a deep knowledge of the market, Brent will help you find the perfect place or get the best deal for your property. Call today at 219-406-7195 and take the first step toward your real estate goals. Contact Brent Wright, the right way to buy and sell real estate.
Welcome back. Be sure to stay connected with all things Region Sports, as we are always active on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, and on our website at regionsports.com. Celebrating over 25 years, we're proud to still be the only game in town. Well, I don't really want to call it our first controversial moment, but I think the crowd probably would do the favors for that for us. If you're with us
half the crowd
just
will.
Before the break, the 50-50 split here. 50% were booing just before the break, due to Crown Point just trying to slow the pace down, hold the basketball, just trying to drain out some clock and drain life from Mount Vernon team that's now chasing 4 points with 3:57 left.
It's not a concept that a lot of people are enjoying. They want to see action. They want to see points scored. So you holding it at half court is not what a lot of people want to see. However, it does potentially stop a momentum. This timeout, this media timeout here, what is this going to do? We're going to find out. Crown Point on a 2-0 run, though, since that long hold. So we'll see what happens.
So here is Kingston Rhodes. He'll kick it out, and Mason Darrell, pinned in that left corner, will hold the basketball while not dribbling it. The Crown Point fans are loving it as well. You saw a wry smile from Clint Swan.
Well, they've got to counter. I mean, the Crown Point fan base has to counter.
He'll then hand it on off to Kingston Rhodes, who will slowly dribble it up along half court towards his own bench. He'll give it to Darrell, who will back it on out. 3:25 left, third quarter. Crown Point leads by 4. A chest pass over now. Right side for Peters. Back across now for Kingston Rhodes, who holds in that same area that Mason Darrell was just a moment ago. 3:10 left in this third quarter.
Yeah, Rhodes just holding it here near half court, near side, in front of, I believe that is the mayor of Indianapolis right there, one of the former governor as well.
Rhodes is still holding it, mind you. Clock's now hit inside of 3 minutes, 2:55 left and counting.
So this essentially turns into a running clock. But what this does, it limits possessions. It limits, and now Coach Swan is saying run. Let's go.
It's Kingston Rhodes. Picks up a screen from Mulaski at the top of the arc. Step back, right wing three. Rattles in and out. Max Weiss the rebound for Mount Vernon. And there's an eruption of fans wearing black and gold who love that rebound. Here's Luke Ertl on the other end. Picks up a screen from Weber. Dribbles and backs it on out. Mason Darrell right in his face.
Mason Darrell right on him is a perfect choice to have coverage on him. Caden Rhodes has done a really good job as well. And Darrell not afraid to push his way through screens either.
Here's Ertl. Picks up a screen from Weber. Right wing now. Gets picked up by Dikembe Shaw off the switch. 2:10 left in the third quarter. Ertl drives, stops, spins, moves inside. High off the window. It drops in. Crown Point still leads. It's 32-30. 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. It's Bryce Peters now.
They're going to bring the pressure up here on this set play.
Shaw off the right elbow. Flings it back to the top. Extra pass inside off the left block. Mulaski, his pass is deflected. Shaw there to recover in the right corner. Fakes the three. Hesitates, accelerates to the free throw line. Dishes it out to the wing for Mulaski, and they'll back it on out with Mason Darrell.
I tell you what, though, this is where that play right there, Dikembe Shaw passing it to Cooper Mulaski, that is so good offensively, knowing where your guys are, because he wasn't even looking to where Mulaski was, and he just dumps the pass off there, knowing that Mulaski will be there for him. These guys have been playing together for so long.
Darrell hesitates, blows by Weber, right through the lane, puts it up to too strong. Rebound deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Kingston Rhodes. It's going the other end.
Yeah, he wants to foul, but even Coach Swan not going to argue for the foul there, because that would be a bailout call. Mason Darrell just went a little too aggressively to the rim. Got to leave a nice touch there at that point.
Weber will fire it into Ertl. 1:07 to go, 32-30 Crown Point. Usually when a coach isn't arguing, that's a sign that there wasn't a call there, because usually they'll back their guys.
Well, this is a very calm Coach Swan that we've seen here tonight.
Collins
travels. Double coverage there. Couple of Crown Point guys smothering the offensive players and forcing those steps. Those are like those early jitters we saw in the first quarter. We haven't really seen much. We knew those guys would get out of it.
54 seconds left, third quarter. Bulldogs trying to expand on their 2-point lead, moving right to left in the white uniforms. They'll kick it out to Darrell, who will fling it into the corner. Peters there on him. 43 seconds left. Peters nearly lost the basketball. Recovers and hands off to Shaw in the left corner.
And Shaw showing no fear whatsoever with 2 guys on him in the corner.
Rhodes driving, kicks in left corner. Shaw 3. Got it to go. Dikembe Shaw, big time bucket. 35-30, Crown Point leads. 25 seconds left in the frame.
Just a huge leadership there by Dikembe Shaw. Doesn't show the fear, doesn't show the pressure of getting the double coverage.
Wide open on the other end. Jack Gare, right wing 3 is short. Long rebound deflected off with a foot at Kingston Rhodes. A heads-up play from Jamari Collins. That ball was going to be out of bounds off the shot. He took his right hand and flung the ball off the foot of Kingston Rhodes to save the possession with 12 seconds left.
I tell you what, this is one of those games we are finding out who wants it more. You know, maybe not Kingston Rhodes was definitely not giving up on that play. He was hustling for the ball. But Mount Vernon coming in just a little bit. Do we have a 5-second call? Or do we have a warning?
We have a warning.
Where is the warning at? So they're saying the warning is on Coach Swan for getting too far, maybe out of the coach's box, and he's like, okay. But it's interesting that the official all the way at the baseline to the left of the basket is the one calling where Coach Swan is probably about, 20, 30 yards away.
Erdl signals and he fires it into the backcourt for Jamari Collins. 11 seconds to go in the third quarter. Collins angles left, has Weber, fakes the pass inside, kicks it out to the corner. Erdl now, left wing with 4, working on Peter, stops, inside, underneath, Weber's denied by Shaw at the buzzer.
Foul.
They do call it a foul instead of a block.
He got the low body on him, that's what they're going to call. They're going to say, did it happen after time expired, though? That's what Coach Shaw, or not Coach Shaw, but Dikembe Shaw.
Are they also checking for goaltending here, too, as well?
Yeah, the block is going to be on Dikembe Shaw, so will he get to shoot with time expiring?
Let's see, the clock currently reads triple zeros right now. They're going to add 0.3 to the clock, so 0.3 of a second, which means Brady Weber's 2 free throws here are probably the last thing we'll see in this third quarter. The Crown Point fans don't like it. Clint Swan was incredulous on the Crown Point bench in his red quarter zip and black pants. Weber's first free throw on the way is pure. 35-31, Crown Point still leads, though.
From my vantage point, it looked like he got all ball in the block, but probably got a little too much of the lower body, which is where the official, who was right in front of the play, and it's a veteran official, that's going to make that call.
Second one, nothing but net, 35-32. At the horn, Peters full court heave off the back of the rim. Ooh. He nearly hit it from about 75 feet. Instead, it's no good, and that's how the third quarter comes to an end. We got a 3-point game going into the fourth. Stay with us. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Indiana High School Class Boys Basketball 4A State Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Sometimes the hardest part of improving your business isn't coming up with a great idea. It's knowing what to do with it. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services is ready to meet all your industrial and commercial construction needs. Whether it's a small build-out or a complete construction project, Chester will design, build, and finance. Our team eliminates multiple contractors, providing you a single point of contact while staying within your budget. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services, turning your ideas into realities.
You ready? Let's go! Yeah! For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
Your future starts
here!
Tonight's coverage of the Class 4A State Championship basketball game is brought to you by the Region Lawyers, the gold standard for legal representation. Call today at 219-885-3957 or visit them on the web at theregionlawyers.com to schedule your free consultation. Kevin, Michael, and our entire crew with you here on hand at Gamebridge Fieldhouse with our sports director and producer, Mike Dewan, our executive producer, Chris Ramirez, operations manager, Rich Castillo, and our coordinating producer, Zach Miller, welcoming you back to the Circle City where we've got a 3-point game between Crown Point and Mount Vernon. Unless we go to overtime, we are 8 minutes away from seeing one of these teams raise their first ever state championship trophy.
Yeah, one of these two teams is going to win, and it's a 3-point game, as you mentioned right now. 12 points scored by Mount Vernon in that third quarter, only 5 for the Crown Point Bulldogs, but we saw a lot of holding of the ball. I don't know how much we're going to see that in the fourth quarter with a 3-point lead. Coach Swan has got to kind of put his guys in the best spots, and it's going to be Mount Vernon ball coming out to start this fourth quarter.
Can I play devil's advocate here?
Of course.
He did it when they were up 4. He then did it when they were up 2. So I feel like maybe he does it up 3. Just a hunch. I'm not Clint Swan, though. I want to make that fully clear. As we're back underway, Mount Vernon moves left to right across your radio dial here in this fourth quarter wearing the black uniforms.
This is a fun one, though. Two veteran coaches that have both been to a state finals. Neither has won, but they've both been here trying to get that one. It's so hard to get here. They both want it badly.
Here's Luke Erdl against Bryce Peters on the left wing.
And one report we got on Erdl was that he tends to get a little bit of a push off him. Bennett doesn't get called for it a whole lot. We may have just seen it there.
He finds a teammate. They kick it out. Left wing 3, Jamari Collins left it short. Collins got his own, though, on a long weak side rebound. Steps inside, can't hit a 13-footer. And Kingston Rhodes comes away with the rebound for Crown Point, and they'll circle it on back and wait for numbers at the half-court line.
Yeah, they're trying to push the tempo a little bit, and then slowed it down. Didn't have the numbers he wanted.
Crown Point moves from right to left in the fourth quarter. Wearing the white is Dikembe Shaw on the right wing, knocks home a 3.
Dikembe Shaw, pure.
Off a chest pass from the top of the arc by Kingston Rhodes. 38-32 Crown Point leads. Inside of 7 minutes to play. On the other end, a right wing transition 3 was short. Out of the hand of Jack Gare. A rebound and a foul is called. I believe they're going to get Jack Gare from over the back on the rebound. Yes, they are. That's the team's first foul of the fourth quarter. 1 minute and 7 seconds into it.
So Gare going to get called for that one. I believe that'll be just his first.
One bound to Kingston Rhodes. Rhodes, who has 7 points on the night. Angles right. He finds Shaw on the wing. They switch it back out for Mulaski. Darrow now bounce it inside to Shaw. As the pass was deflected by Max Weiss on the baseline. So I'll stay with Crown Point with 6:41 left in the fourth quarter.
Shaw definitely doing well from outside. Now trying to do a little inside game as well. We talked about those points in the paint. That number has risen from 16. Still at 16, and we got guys falling over the floor here.
The inbound at Darrell misses the left wing 3. The putback runner by Kingston Rhodes was off the front of the rim and out. And now here comes Mount Vernon chasing 6 points with 6:28 to play in the fourth quarter. Erdl goes behind the back, splits the double team. Left-handed runner is pure. Great move by Luke Erdl. 38-34, Crown Point still leads, 6:17 left.
There is a reason he is a very likely candidate and potentially the winner for Indiana Mr. Basketball here this year.
Shaw on the other end, driving through contact. He's denied by Max Weiss. Erdl now, the game's leading scorer with it. Pushing it into the front court, got doubled, picked up his dribble, looking for help. Finds Max Weiss to avoid a 5-second call.
And now Erdl even saying, let's slow down this tempo here. We got numbers on our side. We're spread out.
Max Weiss drives it, kicks it out, top of the arc. Erdl a 3, you bet! Luke Erdl. 21 points on the night. His second 3-point field goal cuts the deficit to 1. It's 38-37, 5:36 left.
That's the guy you cannot let get hot right now. And you got to get something here on the offensive end of your Crown Point.
It's Mulaski at the midcourt logo. Looks to his right for Shaw on the wing. He finds him. Shaw driving with his left. Finds Mulaski on the baseline. Stops, puts up his contact. No good.
He's got to be more confident with it there.
The rebound snatched by Jack Gare, who finds Max Weiss, and they'll slow it down. Mount Vernon a chance to take the lead. They have not led tonight, and Joe Bradburn, sensing the urgency in this situation, calls a timeout with 5:05 left, the 30-second timeout. We'll take it with them. You're listening to Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Headquartered in Griffith, Indiana, Absolute Power Systems has been delivering top-notch service since 2004, with a team of skilled technicians boasting extensive training on some of the biggest names in the business, like Cummins, Caterpillar, John Deere, Volvo, and more. They focus on providing exceptional industrial engine service and generator power system maintenance and repair. Check them out on the web at absolutepowersystems.com. Absolute Power Systems, powering your business absolutely.
Welcome back to this presentation of the Class 4A State Championship game, and we'd like to remind everyone that tonight's live stream is powered by Absolute Power Systems in Griffith, providing exceptional service for industrial engines, pumps, and generator power systems. For more info, visit AbsolutePowerSystems.com. Absolute Power Systems, powering your business absolutely. Mount Vernon down 38-37 at Crown Point, 5:04 left here in our fourth quarter.
I like that timeout Coach Bradbury took because you want to get a set play here, try to get some offense and get your points and get that lead.
Wide open, Jack Gare stepped out of bounds. Or no, sorry, I beg your pardon. There was a foul called on Crown Point, rather. Crown Point has not scored a point in the last 2 minutes and 16 seconds at the time of that whistle. They do have the arrow in their favor. It'll be baseline right out of bounds here for Mount Vernon in the front court.
Foul is on Shaw, just his second of the game.
It's the first foul of the fourth quarter for the Crown Point Bulldogs. Erla inbounds it, right wing, fires a three as Max Weiss, and it bangs in. Mount Vernon's first lead of the game sees them lead by 2 with 4:46 left, 40-38. That was a bullet of a pass from Erdl. Darrell looking to respond, drops it off to Bryce Peters on the right block, who puts it in off the glass.
Stops an 8-0 run for Mount Vernon.
We are tied at 40 with 4.5 to play in the fourth quarter of the state title game. Here's Luke Erdl, picks up his dribble at midcourt. He finds it to Jack Weber, who draws a foul. Weber, who got tied up with Mason Darrell. They're going to say Darrell got a little too handsy there. It's his second personal foul, the team's second of the quarter.
That's at this point in the game, with it being so close, well, it being tied, so close. With these final minutes ticking off here, it's gonna get physical.
Luke Erdl looking straight away, drives it left, pulls up from NBA range, left it short off the left iron. Shaw snatches the rebound for Crown Point. This is just the second time we have been tied tonight.
8th rebound for Shaw, by the way. 17 points, looking for a double-double.
It's Rhodes with it for Crown Point, driving right, stops and backs on out. He finds Shaw on the right corner. Shaw angles left, back out to the top for Darrell. MJ Wilson on the wing, kicks out to the short corner now. Rhodes back out to Wilson on the wing. He'll try a three. That one's off the front of the iron and out. Erdl the rebound for Mount Vernon. That's his 10th of the game. He's got a double-double now.
Great boxing out by Mount Vernon on that possession.
Erdl on the right wing. Bryce Peters all over him, perhaps Crown Point's best defender.
Surprised there's not a 5 count going on there.
He dances to his left and dances back right, picks up a Vice screen. Erdl, Peters still all over him. 3:15 to go in a tie game at 40.
Little zone here.
Erdl shimmies his way between two defenders, puts it up, it's short, but a foul is called on the floor.
And that's
going to be on the rebound. They're going to get Bryce Peters for a hold underneath. It was a non-shooting foul, keep in mind. 3:08 to go. Fourth quarter in a 40-40 game. And now they're actually going to come in and say it is a shooting foul, believe it or not.
Now he's going to shoot, yeah.
So Luke Erdl will shoot a pair. They signaled, though, a foul on the floor. Bryce Peters gets called for the foul, his third personal, as that shot is good from Erdl to give him a 1-point lead.
Still doing really well. 8 of 8 from the charity stripe right now. 8 of his 22 points.
Second one on the way, tickles the twine, it's good. And that sends us to a timeout. 3:08 left in the fourth quarter. Mount Vernon can sense it. They're up 42-40 in a tight one. You're listening to coverage of the 2026 Indiana High School Class Boys Basketball 4A State Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
At Blyce, we're used to having the athlete shop at our store. down, sit, put.
But sometimes they get carried away. Blythe, this is where the athlete shops.
On-Site Generator Solutions is a locally owned and operated power partner for Northwest Indiana homes. With over 14 years of experience, they handle tasks such as generators, residential electric, plumbing, automotive care, and more. You can find them on Facebook. Give them a call at 219-516-6800 or search them up on the web at onsitegeneratorsolutions.com. On-Site Generator Solutions. Power you could count on every time, everywhere.
Welcome back. Mayor Pete Land and the Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point athletics and say, "Go Bulldogs!" Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in-city services, and encouraging smart growth. Registration is now open for the spring/summer 2026 Crown Point athletic programs. For a complete list of adult and youth activities, visit crownpoint.info/league apps. Mount Vernon leads 42-40 with 3:08 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Thank you.
In a stunning turn of events. The second half has been all Mount Vernon. They've outscored Crown Point here since the halftime break, 22-10.
Yeah, and the numbers are very telling. Right now, Mount Vernon shooting 37%. At the half, they were shooting 27%. For Crown Point, they were shooting 41%. Now, just over 35%. So the numbers are telling. Their shots are not falling. I don't know if it's this side of the court. I don't know what it is. That's where Mount Vernon was having a hard time. Now Crown Point is over here in this direction. Don't know what it is. There's something about this side, but Crown Point's got to withstand it. They're down 2.
Investigate the rims as we're back underway. Molaski off the right elbow will stop and try a long 2. It's long. Rebound for Kingston Rhodes at Crown Point. He blasts through the lane. He puts it up and it goes.
Are they going to say off? Did they say offensive?
Wow, they said offensive foul instead.
They said offensive.
The official right in front of the play signaled for an offensive foul after the official behind the play signaled for a block. They come together and call an offensive foul on Kingston Rhodes.
Ooh, now Molaski, you're going to see this game getting a little chippy at this point. Molaski trying really hard. I know Crown Point wants an over. Crown Point wanted an over the back or over backcourt violation, but it wasn't. He didn't have all 3 established.
Jamari Collins at the top gives off to Max Weiss on the wing. Weiss signals for Collins to come and help him out. Looking inside, it's Ertl baseline, saves the possession as he was falling away. Double now underneath and a timeout called just before a 5-second or a travel could be committed by Brady Weber. It's a full timeout. We'll take it with them. You're listening to Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Mortaranos Roofing is a family-owned business established in 1986, celebrating over 40 years. We have completed over 5,600 roof replacements, repairs, and chimney projects, focused in Northwest Indiana and Southwest Michigan. Mortaranos Roofing has always put family, friends, and customers first in our mission to complete roofing projects with the greatest care and consideration as if it was our own. Give them a call today for a free estimate at 219-872-8246. Mortaranos Roofing. Protect your past, present, and future roofs for you and your loved ones and your legacy.
With offices in Munster and Cedar Lake, Ethos Dental Group offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, dental care you can believe in.
Welcome back, 42-40. Mount Vernon leads over Crown Point. 2:27 left in the fourth quarter. It'll be Mount Vernon basketball on the baseline after the full timeout. They have 2 timeouts left. Crown Point's got 4. Crown Point 4 fouls to Mount Vernon's 1. So the next Crown Point foul committed. Mount Vernon shooting the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem for the Crown Point Bulldogs because they've kind of been a little foul happy in this one. You can see some frustration mounting a little bit for the Crown Point Bulldogs. They're just having a hard time understanding the calls. I think some of us are having a hard time understanding a few of the calls. I mean, I don't like to get on officials. It's just they're right more than they're wrong. And there have been a few going the other way as well. It's been a pretty good game overall for both teams offensively. We haven't seen a whole lot of points, at least from the paint or anywhere else on the floor in a little while. That's just because of the defensive pressure for both these teams.
2:27 left.
0 field goals in the last 2 minutes, 26 seconds for Mount Vernon. 0 points in the last 2:12 for Crown Point. So it's been a hot minute.
Erdl will inbound. He'll fire into the backcourt for Max Weiss, his center, to come to collect. Erdl then sprints and meets him at half court where he gets the basketball. Erdl drives the left side of the lane, kicks it out left wing. Weber fakes the three, gave it on back to Erdl in the left corner. Erdl driving, collects, hesitates, and accelerates to the cup for a layup to make it 44-40. 2:07 left. Mount Vernon now leads by 4. It's their largest of the game.
Such an impressive player. He's got a double-double, 25 points, 10 rebounds. Dikembe Shaw, 17 points, 8 rebounds right now.
Shaw, the other end, 15-footer, misses side out left. Weber the rebound for Mount Vernon, 1:50 to play. They lead by 4. Here's Max Weiss with it now as they push it up along the right side. Weiss will slow it down into that short corner, working on Molaski. Darrell there to help and double. Weber at the free throw line kicks it out, and they'll slow it down with Jack Gare, and they'll reset with Weiss. 90 seconds to play.
I mean, they're not doing what Crown Point did, but they're coming with this double pressure here off the zone defense, and they're holding the ball, just almost getting the 5-second call, though.
Inside now, Collins to the free throw line, stops, spins, back it on out now to Max Weiss. 1:13 to play in the fourth quarter. Weiss gets fouled by Peters on a reach-in attempt. Before the foul, however, keep in mind as the officials come together, called a foul on Peters.
Do we have a timeout?
We have a timeout by Mount Vernon.
Okay, so a timeout before the foul. So that saves Peters because here's one of the problems is we're starting to see this team kind of get a little frustrated. They had the lead. They had a big lead. This is where coaches really got to emphasize in the leadership here. Can't get frustrated. Got to get your minds recollected here.
They led by 10 at the half. They now chase 4 with 70 seconds left in the fourth quarter. You're listening to Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Bad things could happen when you least expect them. An accident, a mistake, a moment that turns your life upside down. At the law office of Weiss, Schmidgall, and Hires, we understand that bad things happen to good people. And when they do, you deserve a team that listens, cares, and fights to make things right. Whether you're facing criminal charges, planning for your estate, or seeking assistance with your business, we're here to guide you forward with strength and experience. Call the law office of Weiss, Schmidgall, and Hires today for a free consultation, or visit them on the web at wshlegal.com for more information. Weiss, Schmidgall, and Hires, protecting your rights and preserving your freedom. In real estate, it's not just about properties, it's about people. At the Nickla Group, our team is made up of dedicated professionals who go beyond the sale. They're your neighbors, your advocates, and your trusted guides through every step of the journey. From first-time buyers to growing families and lifelong investors, our agents take the time to understand what matters most to you because every move is personal. Contact Alex Nickla, a 2013 Crown Point High School graduate, to get started at 219-510-7199. With experience you could count on and service you could feel, we're here when it matters most. The Nickla Group, the trusted Northwest Indiana real estate team.
Welcome back. Mount Vernon leads 44-40 with 1:10 to play in regulation time. And it's been a second half that was dominated from start to finish by the Marauders. They're on a 12-2 run the last 5 minutes and 13 seconds.
Don't forget, we got awards we're going to hand out at the end of this one. We got the Crowell Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the game. The Crowell Company's proud to recognize superheroes on the basketball court. We've got the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. And then we've got the Proud Union Home Play of the Game presented by Ironworkers Local 395. To find out how you become a union ironworker, visit ironworkers395.com.
Ball's inbounded, back underway. Luke Erdl works across the timeline. He finds Weber. They swing out of the corner for Gare. Back on out to Erdl. Pass deflected, saved by Erdl. And a foul is called on Peters for a reach, and it's 2 shots as well.
Yeah, this is going to be a foul, and I know our comment section is starting to get very anti-ref at the moment, and I get it. However, these three really are doing a heck of a job. The fouls are fouls. Whether you want to admit it or not, they are. It's unfortunate. You can question them all you want. That was a reach-in by Peters.
Ertl connects the front end. 45-40, 58.7 left. Luke Ertl's having himself a day on what is going to be his final high school basketball game of his career. 26 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. He's played in 31 minutes so far, but he misses his first free throw of the night there. 5-point game. Shaw flies into the front court, kicks it out, near side, corner three from Rhodes. Got it to go!
That is a big hit from Rhodes in a most timely moment. Makes it a 2-point game.
As Clint Swan burns a 30-second timeout. We'll stay right here. It's 45-43 Mount Vernon. 50.9 seconds left. So now the equation's very simple. You're down by 2. You can afford to foul here now, Michael.
Okay, so I know somebody commented on this in our stream as well. Mount Vernon, 12 of 15 from the charity stripe. Crown Point, 2 for 2. They got to find their way to the line here in this last 50 seconds, because if they're going to get into this, I mean, they're only down 2, but they got to start attacking the rim. They got to start trying to get Mount Vernon into foul trouble. Nobody has more than 2 at this point in time, so that's where maybe a difference might come in. Start attacking the rim, try to get them a little bit. You know, they're going to be tired. They're going to be swatting at the ball. Try to get some momentum going by attacking the rim.
Well, we talked about it during the first half. The majority of Mount Vernon's offense came at the line. They were 6 of 8 at the free throw line. So now Mount Vernon has to go the length of the floor. It'll be Brady Weber to inbound. He can run the baseline here because it's off of a made shot. Weber looks for an open teammate. He finds Max Weiss at midcourt. Weiss drives it, loses the handle on it for a moment, stops his dribble. Kicks on out to Jamari Collins, who draws a foul. A slap with the right wrist by Dikembe Shaw with 44.9 left. Collins, a 66% free throw shooter, goes for a pair.
And we're both just looking for that number. By the way, Ertl at 10 free throws. The record in the state finals in 4A is 15 made free throws.
Jamari Collins, no points tonight. This is his first free throw attempt, and it's good. 46-43 Mount Vernon, 44.9 left.
Yeah, this is where Crown Point's, unfortunately, every foul they commit is automatically going to be 2 shots.
This is the nerves and the moments you dream of if you're a high school basketball player on both sides. Second one on the way, it rattles in. 4-point lead with 44 seconds left. Shaw working crisply across half court. Guarded by Gary, blows by him. Shaw down the middle, and he throws it down with 2 hands. And a timeout is called, a 30-second timeout by Clint Swan. As the deficit once again cut to 2. 47-45, Mount Vernon still at the edge. 34.5 seconds left.
So I believe this is still 2 timeouts for Crown Point. So still 2 timeouts. So with 34 seconds, still got plenty of time to still draw something up here. You got to get a defensive stop here. And I think it has to be does it have to be a full because they're sitting down now? I think they try to take a 30-second. Might have to be a full just because of media purposes. So we'll just go ahead and keep it here at this point because they're sitting on the bench at this point. Although it's weird, like Crown Point's sitting and Mount Vernon is standing. So I don't know what's interesting. I mean, that's one of those, to me, that's one of those little things that doesn't really matter, but sure, get yourself some rest, I guess, if you're Crown Point. Let you guys sit, get their legs a little less tired.
Might as well. I mean, when you look at it, Mount Vernon has only played 7 guys tonight. Crown Point has played 9. So these guys are using very short rotations when you compare it to their physical roster sizes as well. You look right now at the players who are on the floor. Mount Vernon has Luke Ertl, Jack Gare, Brady Weber, Jamari Collins, and Max Weiss. Kingston Rhodes, Caden Rhodes, Daryl Peters, and Dikembe Shaw on the floor for Crown Point.
I tell you what, though, it's a good lineup for Crown Point. We talked about their depth. It's been used a little bit here tonight. Let's see. 2 points off the bench. That's kind of It's not exactly where you're looking. You're thinking you might be able to get a little bit more. MJ Wilson held scoreless. He's had some big games throughout the year as well. We're going to be out of this timeout here in just a moment. But this is Indiana high school basketball, man. You got fans standing up everywhere. This place is almost to capacity. It's only really the top section of the stadium that isn't filled at the moment. But even still, there are people going as far as the eye can see. Basketball alive and well in Indiana. And guess what? Let's go ahead and bring a Final Four here next weekend. Why not? Who says no?
In 49 states, it's just basketball.
Let's get a turnover here.
Luke Ertl trapped by Peters and Shaw in the backcourt. Knifes his way through the double team, and he finds Brady Weber. Up ahead to Jamari Collins. Fakes on the left block. Lets the defender fly by, and he lays it in. 49-45 Mount Vernon. 20 seconds left. Shaw on the other end going coast to coast. He puts it off the backboard and in. Timeout. Crown Point. Full timeout. 49-47 our score. 16 seconds left. We'll take the break with them. You're listening to Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
In life's most difficult moments, trust matters most. For over 80 years, Guy and Allen Funeral Home in Gary has been honored to serve families with compassion, dignity, and care. Our experienced team understands that every life is unique and every farewell should be too. That's why one of our 6 licensed funeral service professionals is available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Because when you need us, we are here. Contact us at 219-949-6325. Or you can find us online at GuyandAllenFuneralHome.com. Guy and Allen Funeral Home, our service, a sacred trust. When it's time to make your next move, experience matters. Meet Mary Cossey with Coldwell Banker Realty, a top real estate professional honored in the International Diamond Society and ranked among Northwest Indiana's elite agents. Mary specializes in guiding buyers and sellers throughout St. John, Munster, Dyer, and Crown Point, delivering expert strategy, strong negotiation, and exceptional results. From selling your home to finding your perfect one, trust the experience that elevates your real estate journey. Call Mary Cossey today at 219-313-5072 because the right home isn't just a purchase, it's a lifestyle.
16 seconds left in regulation. Mount Vernon 49, Crown Point 47. A state title on the line. One of these two teams will win their first, and both programs' first ever title game appearance.
Well, I'll just go and say it right now. How cool for Crown Point to be here. They've been fighting these last number of years. This is a final game, no matter how you look at it, for seniors all across the landscape here on this floor, this hardwood. You want to go out fighting hard. You want to go out in a close game as opposed to a blowout. You want to go away as champions, but you got to do some work here. You got to get a stop here. 16 seconds to go.
Weber to inbound it. He finds Ertl, who got doubled by Shaw and Peters. Did he step out of bounds? No. Weber has it with 12, and Shaw fouls him with 11.3 seconds left.
So the foul there, they tried to get the turnover, they tried to get the steal with the pressure on the inbounds near the baseline. They were not able to get it, but they couldn't let any more time go off the floor. Also important to keep in mind, a tie-up goes Crown Point's way.
So now here is Brady Weber at the free throw line. He's 2 for 2 tonight. This season he's shooting.
Need to get loud.
And this season he's only shooting it at 53%. It's a 2-point game. First one up, and it's clear. 50-47, 11.3 seconds left. And Clint Swan will burn a timeout trying to ice the free throw shooter.
And that is his
final timeout. Yes. It is full. With 11.3 left.
You got to draw something up here. The question is going to be, who do you want in the hands here? You're hoping for the miss. If he makes it, I'm going to say, I don't have my board to draw up. We don't have a telestrator here. From the coaching perspective, if he makes the free throw, you got to go and you got to get a quick 2 and then try to do the same thing, get the foul quickly. You got to go quickly to the rim. Maybe you can even get an and 1 because you're then down 2, potentially make it a 1-point game. If he misses, though, the question is going to be, do you stop and pop? Who do you want to get it in the hands of? Because you can't call any more timeouts for Crown Point right now. So that's what they're drawing up right now. What happens if this happens? Okay, make, miss. who do you want to get it in the hands of? You got to get it in the hands of Shaw, right? He's got the 21 points. He's shooting 3 of 6 from the 3-point line. If you're counting on a guy to shoot a 3-pointer right now, that might be the guy to go to. Kingston Rhodes also shooting 2 of 4 from the 3-point line. So I feel like you got to get it in the hands of Shaw right now. Although being down 3, you got to go for that 3-pointer. But you have the 11 seconds. And you don't have a timeout. The question is going to be if Mount Vernon calls a timeout to set their players up defensively on a make. We're going to find out, because if you're up forward, you go for the foul then to prevent them from quickly to the 2. Well, they've got the 2 fouls, so I'm also just thinking out loud at the moment. So,
foul up 3 here.
Well, they're up 3, but he's got to. If he makes it, do they call a timeout to set their defense? They don't really need to. They might just let Crown Point go with it.
And they only have 1 timeout left, too.
Yeah, so you may want to save that one just in case.
So now Brady Weber, a 6'1 senior, steps up for the biggest free throw of his life. 53% shooter. He made the first one. Can he make the second to force it into a 2-possession game with 11.3 seconds left?
No Marauders on the free throw line, by the way.
Bends the knees, he flicks the right wrist, and it rattles in.
That's a huge shot.
51-47, 10 seconds left. No timeouts for Crown Point. Darrell musters up a 3. It's short through contact. Rebounded by Weber, and a foul with 3.7 seconds left. Mount Vernon can now taste a state championship for the first time in its school history.
Crown Point fans are going to want the foul call in that 3-point attempt, although he's kind of pushing his body into the defender. I can see the no call. You're going to want the call. I don't know if you needed 3 in that case. You got to get quickly down the floor, get 2. I think there's argument for the foul call, no question.
3.7 seconds left, 51-47. Darrell tried to force a left wing 3 through contact, and it was well short. No one.
Because he had a whole body in his face.
Yeah. No one from Mount Vernon at the line as well. This is 2 shots for Brady Weber to ice the game. First one up and in, 52-47. One more, and that will do it for Mount Vernon.
Gotta give flowers to this young man here. He's 3 of 3 here in the 4th quarter. These have been some major pressure free throws.
Second one on the way, it's short. It deflects into the hands of Dikembe Shaw with 2. He pulls up for a left wing 3 at the horn. It goes, but it doesn't matter. For the first time in its school history, the Mount Vernon Marauders are state champions in boys basketball. They win it by a final of 52-50, and the celebration is on.
What a game we just witnessed to close out the high school basketball season. For seniors, this is it. Like they're done playing with this group of guys. They're done playing with the family they've known for the last number of years. What a game. I'm sure we got Tyrese Halliburton right in front of us. I'm sure he's impressed with the talent that he's seen. He's doing a little scouting for the Indiana Pacers right now. I know there's going to be hung heads in Crown Point. There shouldn't be. I understand there will be. They're going to feel like they let this one slip away. Marauders just a little bit better tonight. Crown Point didn't play poorly. They really played a phenomenal game. Maybe came a little short offensively. Couldn't come up with some shots late or some free throws late. But man, oh man, they're an impressive team. It's been really fun to chronicle a lot of these guys, these seniors, the last number of years. Guys like Jack Lux, Mason Darrell, Dikembe Shaw, Kingston and Caden Rhodes, amongst others. But man, oh man, I mean, it's been a fun ride. These last number of years, they couldn't get past the hump of Fishers. They couldn't get out of semi-state. They pushed their way as far as they would be let, and now they're in a state championship game and coming up just a little bit short here, and just great effort. You can't fault Mount Vernon here today. They just played a great game. Yeah, the first half didn't look great for them. They had a lot of shots that were not falling. That's kind of what happened at Crown Point in the second half. Man, just it's tough to watch because these guys work so hard. They're great kids. I know we got to do the media day, get to talk to these guys. We don't get to talk to these guys very often. But man, it's an impressive group of kids, character-wise, talent-wise. It's going to be sad to see a lot of these seniors go. I mean, we cover these games all season long for the last number of years. You start to cover these kids, and it's almost like they become, part of you. You just get used to names. Your favorite players on teams. You don't want to see them go, but they're going to go on to bigger and better things. Some of them are going to play at the next level. Some of them are done. But man, oh man, it was a hard-fought game, and I'm sure if we get the privilege of having Coach Swan come over here and talk to us, he's going to tell you he's going to be proud of these guys. There's no way to not be proud. And I know some people are going to say, Crown Point versus the refs as well. That wasn't the case. Yes, there were some questionable calls. It went both ways, in my opinion. We had a region official in there, so definitely one official that was, not that he was making it about the region or doing, calling everything for the region or whatever, but man, it's just tough to watch. You get to these points in the years, the school year is going to be ending right around the corner as well, and we're going to tune you in. They're going to start giving out awards. In fact, I believe the first award they're going to hand out here is the Mental Attitude Award, which is the Arthur T. Trester and Ray Kraft Mental Attitude Awards. This is a really cool award, just those players and those individuals, and it's not just based on what happened in the game today. It is a culmination of things from their community, their coaches nominate them, stuff like that.
We'll check in now with the official post-game ceremony. You're going to listen in live.
On behalf of the IHSAA, please join us in saying thank you to the Indiana Pacers and Indiana Fever for their generous support of student athletes and high school basketball in Indiana. The recipient of this award was selected by the IHSAA Executive Committee. This student was nominated by his athletic director, principal, and coach, and excelled in mental attitude, athletic ability, scholarship, and leadership. The winner of the 2026 Arthur L. Truster Mental Attitude Award for Class 4A Boys Basketball is Brady Weber.
So Brady Weber from Mount Vernon will get the Mental Attitude Award. Congratulations to him. You can see there is pride for his family. They are hugging him. It's a really cool award because, again, as you probably heard, it represents more than just your athletic abilities. It's things that you do, being a leader on a team, really just kind of being that guy on the team that does things that maybe go unnoticed to everyone else because somebody may be doing better in terms of their talents or whatever on the court. So congratulations, Brady Weber. And talk about a guy, man, who in that fourth quarter hit some really clutch free throws that really kind of iced the game for Mount Vernon. Went 3 of 4 from the line in that fourth quarter. And I'm talking like with under 30 seconds left just to ice that and make that one of those things that just kind of put the game away for Mount Vernon. And so it's unfortunate for Crown Point. But again, we talked about not going to the line a whole lot. Mount Vernon going to the line a fair amount tonight. They were 17 of 21 from the charity stripe. That's a pretty staggering number, not going to lie. But then again, that's you're forcing your way to the rim, getting those calls. Go with some final totals here. Kingston Rhodes with 10 points. Mason Jarrell with 7. Bryce Peters with 5. Dikembe Shaw finished with 24. Bryce Peters actually fouled out of the game with that 5th foul kind of late in the game. 9 rebounds for Shaw as well, so almost a double-double in this one. Cooper Mulaski with 2. Lux with 2. And then everybody else not in the scoring column. Some shots put up by MJ Wilson. Could not get anything to fall tonight, but, man, he's a sophomore. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch him here the next couple years as well. So some nice key pieces for Clint Swan going forward here. We're going to step aside. You are listening to Game 9 of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Have you heard? Stratford-Mantell was voted Best of the Region 2025 in several categories, including Best Caterer, Deli, Flower Shop, Food and Grocery Delivery, Fried Chicken, Place to Buy Produce, Place to Buy Seafood, Loyalty Program, and Grocery Store. We're proud to be recognized by our community, and we're committed to continuing to deliver the variety, value, and convenience you deserve. See for yourself what it means to be the best when you shop at Strachan Tow.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
It's time now for the Popcorn World postgame show, brought to us by Popcorn World, the world's largest gourmet popcorn shop. Visit them on the web at doingtheworldofflavor.com. Our entire Region Sports Network crew with you on hand here. Captain Later, Michael Brandner, Chris Ramirez, Rich Castillo, Zach Miller, and Mike Dewan welcoming you back to Gamebridge Fieldhouse as Mount Vernon defeats Crown Point 52-50. Two top five teams, neither of which have played in a state final. Only one team can come away with their first ever state crown, and tonight it is the Mount Vernon Marauders. Obviously a disappointing end to an unforgettable season from the Crown Point Bulldogs. They finished with an overall record of 27-2.
It just goes to show you, I mean, you work hard day in, day out, and teams all across the state are doing that every single day to try to even get to this point. So Crown Point getting to this point, they finally got over that hump of getting past semi-state. Did not have Fishers in their way this year. I'm sure they're pretty happy about that. But they're in the state championship game. They competed admirably in this game, losing by two, not, one bucket. Yeah, there was a last-second three to kind of make it a little bit closer game. But, man, such a hard-fought game. And, I mean, your heart breaks. Four teams today are leaving Indianapolis, upset because they didn't win a state title. Some of them on walk-off, mentalities. I think Westview got walked off last-second lay-in. I mean, we saw a close game in the first game here to this evening, and the Cathedral getting their win. I mean, these games are hard. And when you play the competition, this is why Crown Point plays the tough competition that they do. I don't care what sport you're talking about, whether it's baseball, whether it's football. They play the tough schedule, as we're going to look over in that direction. They play the tough schedule because they know that games like this are going to happen later in the tournament. They want to be ready for games like this. Yeah, they played Mount Vernon already, but Mount Vernon, obviously had a slightly better game plan coming into this one. Crown Point still had a good game plan as well. It didn't go off the rails. Just that defense was so smothering in that first half. Still smothering in the second half. Just some buckets fell for Mount Vernon a little bit more so than they did in that first half.
Ready to hand out some hardware?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it. Time to now name the Crowd Company's Lantern Man superhero of the game. Crowd Company's The Business Professionals. And our Crowd Company's Lantern Man superhero of the game tonight was Dikembe Shaw from Crown Point. The senior put up 24 points, a rebound shy of another double-double, a very honorable way to close out your high school career.
Yeah, I tell you what, he did a phenomenal job. I mean, he really that first quarter, he really kind of put the team on his back. He really tried to do, it kind of felt like he was doing a little too much, trying to make it all his doing, and then he kind of backed off a little bit, and that left the door open for other guys to have opportunities, and some of those guys, including Mason Darrell, Kingston Rhodes, they were able to capitalize in that second quarter. And then the second half, it turned into Dikembe Shaw. That's where I've seen him a lot in his career, just kind of take off and do really good things. So, yeah, he finished with those 24 points, 9 rebounds, just doing really good work in 30 minutes of play for Dikembe Shaw. So, yeah, Crowd Company's Lantern Man, superhero of the game.
And he played great. Another guy who was an underrated hero tonight for this team is our blue-collar player of the game, which is brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. The blue-collar player of the game tonight was Mason Darrell of Crown Point. Stat sheet-wise may not be the most appealing thing, but his effort was on full display. 7 points, 6 rebounds, 5 of those coming on the defensive glass. And that first half in which Crown Point was dominant in, they led by 10 at the half. was a big part because of the play of Mason Darrell.
Yeah, he was forcing some uncomfortable situations for the Mount Vernon players. Was trying to get turnovers. I don't know how many he ended up with. Two turnovers on the day. Pretty much, I would say right around that average. I don't know if we have that number available, but I would say right around that average probably. It does force a lot of turnovers. Just plays so hard defensively for the Crown Point Bulldogs. Finished with 7 points as well. His heart, his grit. Love to watch it. It's going to be sad to see him go along with Dikembe Shaw. I really want to just give a shout-out to all the seniors. It's been a fun group to watch and cover this last couple years that they've been playing. It's been just a tremendous ride for the Crown Point Bulldogs.
And last but not least, we're going to stay on Mason Darrell here because he was a big component in our Proud to Be Union Play of the Game, which is presented by Ironworkers Local 395. Ironworkers Local 395. To find out how you can become a union ironworker, visit ironworkers395.com. And tonight's Ironworkers 395 Play of the Game was the Mason Darrell first half buzzer beater.
Yeah, absolutely. Crashing the board and getting that buzzer beater to kind of end things up there to end the quarter. Can't beat that. I would say a close second would be a Dikembe Shaw dunk in that fourth quarter. Not too bad as well. So maybe we'll go a little I don't know if we got the highlights of either one of those from Mike Dewan.
He says it's audio.
Right. Oh, that's right. Well, I didn't know if we could. Well, we can't yet. Sorry. I know we were recording some things just for later, so I didn't know
for
if
social
we had
media
that.
purposes. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
I got the thought process. Mike is over here. You can now kind of see his head pointing. He's shaking his head a little bit in this. Hey,
there he is. Our sports director.
Wonderful job on the ones and twos tonight, as he always does. That was tonight's Ironworkers 395 Play of the Game, presented by Ironworkers Local 395, Union Strong. And before we go, Michael, any final thoughts?
I've kind of said it. Just kudos to Crown Point. I know, they're going to hang their heads. They have no reason to do so. They played a really, really strong basketball game. Mount Vernon just came up with a couple extra shots that helped them win in the end. Really proud of those players. I'm, ecstatic that Coach Swan got here, wishing that he could have gotten that first state championship. But I guess he's going to be back to the drawing board this coming Monday.
The trophy has been handed and now hoisted by the Mount Vernon Marauders. Congratulations again to them on a really well-played basketball game.
I will also say, just one final note, great working with you guys today. It's been fun to hang out here in Circle City. The whole crew out here. Pleasure working with you. I know you got to call your first state championship here. Didn't go the way you wanted, but I thought you did an excellent job. Welcome to the state championship calling club, I guess. I don't know if that's really a thing.
I appreciate it. Hey, this year has been an absolute blast. It's been so much fun. I've heard stories. My dad grew up in Valparaiso, so I heard the stories from when he was in high school and whatnot, now getting to be a part of it in a different lens. He was a student who lived it, now getting to cover it has been a phenomenal experience. So it was a pleasure working with you all as well. As we thank you for watching the Popcorn World postgame show. Popcorn World, doing the world of flavor with over 250 flavors. That's going to do it for us tonight. Despite the outcome, we really hope you enjoyed our broadcast. For everyone involved with the Region Sports Network, our executive producer, Chris Ramirez, operations manager, Rich Castillo, our coordinating producer, Zach Miller, our sports director, and our on-site producer and engineer extraordinaire, Mike Dewan. You saw his head a couple of moments ago. For a special thanks to the entire coaching staffs led by Joe Bradburn of Mount Vernon, Clint Swan of Crown Point, the athletic directors, Brandon Ecker of Mount Vernon, Bill Jarilla of Crown Point. Special thanks to the Gamebridge Fieldhouse and the IHSAA for hosting us. And last but certainly not least, to the viewers like you at home at regionsports.com, YouTube/Region Sports, and Facebook/Region Sports Nation. For our entire crew, for my partner Michael Brander, great job as always. I'm Cam Malater. Thank you so much for watching and listening to our presentation of the 2026 Indiana High School Class Boys Basketball 4A State Championship on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Tonight's broadcast is made possible by Strack & Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Ironworkers Local 395, proud to be Union. Four Seasons Mechanical, quality and comfort is our guarantee. Boilermakers Local 374, earn while you learn. IBEW Local 697, proud to support high school sports. Bricklayers Local 4, the best hands in the business. Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. The Right Group, the right way to buy and sell real estate. Mark Macknick, Chicagoland Tax Professionals. Blythe's Team Sports, where the athlete shops. And Hampton Inn, downtown Indianapolis. This is the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.